Yeah, so we'll just be starting. So please keep the volume down. It'd be really appreciated. So to start with, everyone, thank you so much for participating in FLockCON, especially our value partners. I mean, it has been a great journey throughout like KBW working with Base. And we're really excited to present you Base AI Onchain Summer X FLockCON in Seoul. So yeah, let's get started. So before we begin, I'd like to give a huge shout out to our Base being our biggest partner. Zen and David, of course, has been so supportive of this event. And to begin with, we'd like to start a keynote from our CEO, Jahao-sun.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hey. Thanks everyone for coming. And wow. Okay, I didn't know I have this big. How do I control these slides, or I don't? Okay, cool. So yeah, my name is Jiao-san, CEO and founder of Flock, and today I'm wearing our new shirt, like a pink-ish. It's quite cool, and if you like it, there's a bunch of them there. So yeah, I'll just quickly go through what is Flock, and well, for those who don't know, and hopefully then we can bring lots of potential collaborations with our friends here, right? So Flock itself, actually, it's a pun. It's a combination of federated learning and blockchain. Flock. So during COVID, I developed myself as a comedian doing STEM shows. So that's why I like those pun names. So that's why I named it Flock. So the term federated learning is not something like super new. It developed in 2017 by Google, meaning that you have your local data stays in your local device, but we can still train a model in a collaborative way. And then the reason we add blockchain over to it is because you can't just believe in a third party, right? They can be evil. Like they can send your data in the back door. So we need an on-chain governance. So that's the whole idea behind Flock. Yeah, so generally speaking, I think the deck is a bit out of the words, but fine. Basically, the story is that we don't want our AI to be controlled just by two mega companies. We want to make sure that everyone controls their own data, their own model. That's why we built this whole mechanism. Although I don't know why we can't see anything. So everything starts from a research paper, actually. We collaborate together with all our friends. Later, Zehua from our team will also talk about the research that he had led before and also the future initiatives. So we won the Best Paper Award in the top AI conferences, and then we decide to monetize it, make it a project. Yeah, we have a fantastic team. I think we have many people here, but somehow those PDF is not very well transformed into the computer. Maybe you're using Google Slides. That's a thing, right? So we need a unified form for all of this, so that in different softwares it doesn't go just off. But anyways, yeah, we have a fantastic team ranging from traditional industry to research and to crypto industry, and also even some from public sectors like Samiha used to work as chief of staff at UK Parliament, and Mohammed Marika used to be my boss. So they'll all have some talk today to talk about all their initiatives and how Flock gonna build in the future. Yes. So since the whole deck is in a mess, so I'll just talk quickly about the whole model behind the Flock as a technology and also as a token itself, and why we need this whole design, right? So it's not just a purely incentive thing, because in order to make governance on the model training, you need to make sure that an open system is not going to be attacked by malwares, by malicious attacks, by malicious clients. So that's why people had to stake to join the training, to stake to participate into the training. So that's our mechanism, a game theory, to make sure the whole system can be secured. So that's the whole value, and also the utility of the token itself, and also of the whole mechanism itself. We've been doing our platform for quite some years. We launched it in testnet, of course, on base Sepolia, and then merged to a mainnet, now live I think it's, oh, actually, back in our testnet time in Sepolia, we are the top volume on Sepolia, right? yeah. So now we're on base on mainnet, of course, and then yeah, recently you can see our popularity on base is very high. Thank you for the whole base team supports. Yeah, this deck is. Yeah, we should use PDF next time, by the way. It's all right. Yeah, so hopefully the use cases are fine. Yes, so yeah, we've been developing lots of our interests and collaborations across industries, not only just Web3. We focus more on the traditional industry because this is a solution where traditional industry needs it, but they don't know how to solve it because there are so many, crypto, blockchain type of aspect out of it, it's hard for them to understand everything, first of all. And secondly, there's a huge need for this privacy AI solution. For example, in areas like healthcare, public sectors, banking, right? So for example, as people might know, we are an AI partner of United Nations Development Program, which means that we're actually helping UNDP to deploy 20-ish initiatives across different countries across the world, helping their local country offices to deploy such many of the initiatives that can bring them up to speed with the newest AI technology and also maybe on-chain, on base. So that's some of the talks that we're talking with the whole base team, bring many of the UN initiatives to base. Yes, and also there's one collaboration, maybe professors will talk about it later, with Korean University, Aegon Labs, about the drug discovery. That's probably first in the world that can do drug discovery across different countries because traditionally, you can't really share those data between different countries, right? But with Flock technology, that's a secured way of multi-party, multi-interest groups to be joined together to do this large drug discovery collaboration. And well, yeah, there's a retail app, collaborating with University College London Hospital called Baby4D for those new becoming moms who have their ultrasound scan, right? And then we render a face for the baby. And of course, those images are quite sensitive. You don't want to send your medical data everywhere, like somewhere through the API to a server at SF and being checked or edited by someone behind the screen, and you have no idea who they are, right? So that's exactly the use cases where Flock can be fitted in. So yeah. Oh yeah, and also there's an engine we collaborated with Animal Health Brands, our investor, called Hey Annie. That's also another very interesting initiative because lots of those IC nodes for the venture capitals are so sensitive. They don't want to share with each other. So we built this model so that VCs can join together, and that agent can check out your deck. And if your deck, if they think your deck is good, then you'll get a high score, and then Animoca team will reach out to you. So you can try use this tool if you want to get attention from Animoca brands. Yeah, so lots of the initiatives, and I think throughout today, many of my team will talk about the details of those initiatives and how our future steps will be. And according to our lawyer, there's a disclaimer. So for everyone here, please read through and tick the box. Thank you so much. Right, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Please give another big round of applause to our CEO, Jehal Sun. Great. So next up, we have our most prized partner from Base. Please give a warm welcome by Zen, the head of global head of growth at Base.
Hello? Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. These are my slides. Do we have any different slides? Hey. Can we be changing them? I can do it without the slides. Okay, I'll just start. Hey everyone, I'll get going without the slides. Hi, I'm Zen. I'm head of growth at Base, and it's really great to be here to be supporting Flock, and I'll be fine. And this is part of the Base Around the World tour. We are currently starting in Korea, in Seoul. This is day 2. We're going to Tokyo next, then off to Singapore. We're going to Malaysia for the network school. And then on to India, Bangalore, and Indonesia. So it's going to be a long tour, but it's been incredible so far. Meeting the community, meeting all of the builders, the creators, the traders, and everybody here in Korea. Honestly, it's astounding. I've been blown away by the quality of the community here. David, who's the Base country lead for Korea, has done an amazing job building this community, and I suggest if you don't know him to reach out to David. David, stand up. He's your guy. If you want to get involved with Base in Korea, speak to this guy. And we've also got country leads for Base in the room as well. We've got Nick here. Come over here, Nick. This is the Base country lead for Singapore. Yeah. So if you want support, come speak to Nick. Say hi.
Hey guys, we love Base Korea.
And we have Vivian over there on the crutches, Base country lead for Indonesia. So if you're looking to go to market and get users, speak to Vivian.
안녕하세요, 비비입니다.
So yeah, been here for 2 days. We went for a great run this morning. Some great builders just came on. So I'm here to talk about Base. For those who don't know, Base is here to power a new financial system. Base has really 3 components. The first one is the Base network. The Base network is the leading layer 2 on Ethereum, and it enables fast and cheap and efficient transactions at scale. We have the Base app. The Base app is an on-chain everything app, which brings together a social network with app discovery and payments and chat and trading all in one place. And the Base app is basically your go-to-market. If you're a builder, you can build a mini app within the Base app and you get users. It's a great way to go to market. And we'll be rolling out the Base app over the next few months, including across Asia and in Korea. And then finally, we have Base Build. And Base Build is a suite of tools for developers, which enables you to go from idea to app to full-blown startup. And my job at Base as global growth lead is to grow the builder network. And the builder network is a community of people, like the people in this room, dedicated to supporting and building startups within this new on-chain economy. And the builder network consists of many different types of builders. We have founders, like many people in this room. We have creators, we have traders, and other sorts of contributors. And the important thing is each person in this network is contributing to the network, but also receiving value from the network as well. We have builders and founders who are creating apps and startups like Flock. And the reason these founders come to Base is because you can get users, you can get distribution, and by building on Base, you can earn some profits and you can build a business. And so founders come to Base to get users. We also have creators on Base, and creators are important because they provide distribution to apps, to tokens, and to all sorts of startups on Base. And the reason that creators come to Base is because they can earn more than they can on Web 2 platforms, and they can truly own the audience and own the content that they're creating. So creators come to Base to create content and earn. And then we have traders. And traders are incredibly important within the on-chain economy because the traders are providing the capital into the system, funding companies like Flock with buying the tokens. By buying a token, you can then collateralize that amount and get a loan or use it to raise more money. And so traders are really important within the on-chain economy, also funding creators as well, through apps like Zora, even in the Base app, and many other ways to fund creators. So traders are trading to get upside. And my belief is that sustained upside comes from quality, from the quality of the founders and the creators which they are backing. And each part of this network is contributing and receiving value, and each one needs each other, right? The founders need the creators, and the creators need the founders, and the traders need to trade something created by the creators and the founders. And it's this combined network effect which fuels the on-chain economy. And that's what we're building on Base. It's what we're building in every country around the world where we're currently growing. And so you can ask how it's going for Base. I think it's going very well, okay? This strategy is working. Base now has 12 billion of assets on platform. We have 4 billion of stable coins on Base. We have over 3 billion in transactions done on Base, and thousands of apps and thousands of tokens. And so, but what's really exciting, right, is we clearly have the ability now to supercharge networks. If you think about it, like this is a network, like a social network, but it's a network that can create value, a network that can create billions of dollars in revenue. The world's never seen anything like this before, okay? And so the question is, where does this go? Where does this lead us? And it's my conviction that this will take us to network states, that Base and networks like Base are in the early stages of becoming a network state. Now, what's a network state? A network state is a decentralized country. It's, there's a book about it. If I have the slides, it'd be a picture of, in fact, I can show you the slide. Let's get the slide to the network state book, if you can push it forward a little bit. A few, yeah. How are we doing? Okay, yep, good. Oh yeah, that's the map of all the people in the network. There you go, that's users, founders, that's Base. Okay, the network state book. Okay, this is a project I contributed to, very close to my heart. And in the network state book, they define a network state as a social network with a moral innovation, a sense of national consciousness, a recognized founder, a capacity for collective action, an in-person level of civility, an integrated cryptocurrency, a consensual government limited by a social smart contract, an archipelago of crowd-funded physical territories, a virtual capital, an on-chain census that proves a large enough population, income, and real estate footprint to attain a measure of diplomatic recognition. So that's a long sentence. I'm going to break it down a little bit and talk about how this would fit into Base and also any other crypto network, because I believe that it's crypto networks like Base which are going to be the most likely candidates to become real network states in the future. So a social network. Base is absolutely a social network. We have thousands of people in the community in each country where we're active. And if you open up the Base app, you can see what I mean. We certainly have a moral innovation. Like Base has a very strong sense of moral, what's right and wrong. Like we believe in things like open beats closed, like global being the default, and that ownership can unlock creativity. Base absolutely has a sense of national consciousness. Like the community is a real community. If you know the community in Korea, you know that it's a genuine community that we're building at Base, and people feel bigger, part of something bigger than themselves. We have a founder. The founder is Jesse Pollock, supported by many great leaders throughout the community. And do we have a capacity for collective action? We absolutely do have a capacity for collective action. Everybody within Base is basically a builder in different ways. Companies like Flock, building incredible products. So we can absolutely build as a network. An in-person level of civility. Yep, I think the Base community is actually one of the nicest communities around. Like, it's really good people who have respectful culture, and yeah, couldn't be more civil, actually. Even on crypto Twitter. And an integrated cryptocurrency. Well, we're not there yet, but Base is beginning to explore a network token, which is very exciting. And so we're at the early stages of that journey. And a consensual government limited by social smart contract. Well, we have reached stage 1 decentralization. And we have some great smart contracts, but we're working on this, and it's something we're going to keep working on. An archipelago of crowd-funded physical territories around the world. Well, we have communities like the one in Korea, boots on the ground in over 25 countries around the world. So we're like very geographical and very distributed around the world. A virtual capital, like this is going to be the base app. The base app will be our gathering point and essentially the network's town hall. This will become the virtual capital of the network state of Base. And then an on-chain census that proves a large enough population, income, and real estate footprint to attain a measure of diplomatic recognition. Well, population, there are millions of users on Base and hundreds of thousands of people who consider themselves to be part of the community around the world. Apps on Base have generated over $1 billion in revenue, and that's excluding the fees from the Base chain. And so when the time comes, that's a pretty big income to fund a real estate footprint when we need to do it. So we're getting there. We're not there yet with diplomatic recognition, clearly. But you may remember that governments used to think crypto was a joke. Certainly in the UK, that was the general consensus. And now many governments are now adding crypto to their national reserves. I think we're going to see a lot more of that. It feels like the tides are turning. Even in Korea, I feel like the sentiment is now very different. And the way that governments look on crypto and will start to look on network states will change dramatically over time. So basically, there you have it. I believe Base is on its way to becoming a network state, just like other crypto networks. And the reason that's important is because, well, firstly, it's quite a radical thing to say that Base is going to become a network state. To even say that network states are going to be a thing is quite an out there thing to say. But that's where we're going as an industry. That's the purpose of crypto, right? That's why many of us got into this industry to start with. We believed we could build something better, and we can. And companies like Flock are doing this. And so, yeah, I'm just very much happy to be here. And thank you for having us, Flock. We're absolutely delighted to be supporting such a great company in Korea and supporting the community in Korea. So yeah, thank you for inviting me. It's been great to be here.
Thank you, Zen. This is exactly the reason we are building on Base. So next up, we have Alex from Aerodrome. Please give a warm welcome to Alex.
Thank you. We doing Q&A style? Okay. All right. One moment. Yes, I was invited to speak and then found out at the last moment people had prepared things and I did not prepare things, so I asked for the opportunity to be asked questions. Zen, I'm so impressed that you are still bringing that energy this deep in. I mean, it's getting better with each one. I'm very, very impressed. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Hey, hello everyone. Very happy to be here, and I'm Elena, and the co-founder of Diluthium, and we're having Alex here, who is the CEO of Airdrome, which is a very, very top DEX in Base ecosystem. So yeah, welcome.
Why, thank you, and thank you for being my impromptu Q&A partner here.
Yeah, they just told me that actually. Yeah. So so we all know that Airdrome is the #1 on Base chain, right? So I'm very curious about how you just start this company in early days, what your strategies, how you managed to get the first wave of users when there's so competitive that time, right? A lot of DEXs everywhere, Uniswap and SushiSwap, a lot of things there. How you made it?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool story, and I think it's a story that's really only possible in this space. So for me personally, I got into DeFi summer 2020, 2021, and I think I got so engaged in the DeFi ecosystem, right? And I was blown away by this idea that you could just show up and participate and be rewarded for your participation. Didn't have to ask anyone's permission. didn't even have to know like what exactly you were getting involved in. You add value, you get value back out. And I basically was so blown away by that idea that I just quit my job. I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what I was going to do.
What were you doing that time?
I was working for kind of like a boutique consulting agency. So, yeah, but locked in my apartment. These were pandemic times, so was ready for something new. And I just jumped in, right? I tried to learn as much as I could.
DeFi summer, right?
Yeah, DeFi summer. I started LPing tokens and earning more tokens, and I could use those tokens to go participate and earn more tokens. And before I knew it, I was Alice in Wonderland, just deep down the rabbit hole. And I got engaged in a DAO, basically, right? A new project had launched. It was called Solidly. It was on the Phantom network. And I joined a DAO that was basically a sub-DAO of this thing. And in joining the sub-DAO, I met a bunch of very smart people. But here's the thing. I only knew them as Discord PFPs, right? These were virtual strangers to me. And that DAO, I just started contributing. I just started adding value. And before I knew it, I had more responsibility, and I was wrangling the chaos. But collectively, we saw an opportunity, right? We saw this DEX model that Andre Crone had pioneered, and we saw kind of what needed to be fixed and improved in it. And so we began by launching Velodrome on Optimism. And we were very early. We're thesis-driven. This is still when everybody said, you have to deploy to an alt layer 1, stay on Phantom, go to Avalanche. Why would you?
So what's the choices you have that time?
I mean, they said literally go anywhere other than an ETH L2, right? Because in their mind, these were dead chains, right? But we believed in the vision of Ethereum. We thought ETH L2s were going to basically combine some of the best attributes of the alt L1s, fast, cheap, accessible, with the power of Ethereum. And so we wanted to be early on that. We launched Velodrome literally the week Luna collapsed. So let me tell you about launching liquid airdrop when the only thing anybody can do is sell as much as they can and get out and move on chain and buy themselves some
always
fiat.
doing that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty brutal, right? But we had this thesis.
Starting from like a Uniswap, like a sushi swap, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the start, right? But we persevered through that, and we kept building. We believed in the thesis, and we kind of just said, "Hey, wouldn't it be great if one day on Optimism, on this single L2, our DEX was bigger than Curve? Then we were bigger than Curve. Wouldn't it be cool if one day our DEX was bigger than Balancer? Well, then we were bigger than Balancer." And you go, oh my God, Uniswap's worth $10 billion. Wouldn't it be cool if one day we were bigger than them just on this one single chain? And then we flipped them as well, right? And thank you. But we just took it step by step. And then those steps just kept accelerating, right? So Base chose to build on Ethereum and the OP stack. And so we got introduced to Jesse very, very early at the beginning.
It's still very, very early stage, like Base is like nobody's like saying like everywhere something like that nowadays, yeah.
No, at that point, as far as I knew, Jesse was the only guy working at Base, right? Yeah. But he had a vision, right? And we believed in that vision. So once again, we had a thesis, and we tried to be ahead of the curve. And we thought Base was going to be huge, and so we deployed Aerodrome on Base. And for us, this is to your original question. I've been long-winded here, but we believed in the model. We believed the DEX model worked, right? And we had already had all of the success. And the day Aerodrome went live on Base, we doubled the TVL of the entire chain. Oh. And yeah.
Wow, that's impressive, I mean, yeah.
Well, it was crazy. I mean, I don't even think we had any expectation of doing that, but we believed in the model. We turned it on. And people came to us and they said, oh, well, what kind of deals did you cut to do that? Who are you working with? Are you guys all ex-Coinbase employees? Like, is this some sort of, inside thing? We said, no, the model just works. We have got no idea who showed up with all of that liquidity. The model just works, right? And even that is when I think, we got very close with the Base team, not because we had any sort of inside track, but because we created impact on the chain. And, from there, Airdrome's never lost the position of being the number one DEX on Base. And the crazy thing about Airdrome, given the success of Base, is that we're the second largest DEX on EVM, only second to Uniswap.
From day one?
No, not from day one. Not from day one. That has taken more time. But that is because of the growth of Base, right? And because we focused on an ecosystem we believed would grow.
Wow, cool. So, have you ever experienced some moments like do or die, or some like very difficult decisions you have to make to get through along your journey?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, so we're very unique, right? We didn't raise any money. So
how many people you start from?
It was a handful of us, right? And again, all anons to one another, right? These are people in Discord. We didn't meet until about a year into the journey.
Okay.
But we had literally no money. And we launched Velodrome as everything was going to hell. And we had to find ways to survive, right?
Yeah.
And the product needed a lot of work, right? Needed a lot of effort. We had to do so much from that first day to survive to get to a day like this. But I mean, we went through so many trials and tribulations, and even in that early group, we had people who left, right? Because they realized this was not going to be a quick win. This might literally never work. You might never get rich doing this, right? You might never succeed. And but we stuck to those first principles, right? We didn't allocate ourselves tokens that we could go sell on the market. We'd never sold any tokens to VCs. We were just users of our own platform, participants equal, and we believed that if we stuck to those first principles, that eventually people would realize what we were building was very special.
But it's how long that you before you earn to make revenue, the first day of the revenue, yeah.
Well, the great part is because our token, we like to say, is maximally useful. The protocol started making money immediately. It's just very little money, and the only
transaction fee is not so high, yeah.
Yeah, but the only way anybody gets to capture those fees is if they lock the token and participate, and that's what we have to do to capture those fees.
So you have your token on day one, or it's immediately launched? Once you launch, you have the token already?
Yeah, so in the initial allocation, right? Teams will usually give themselves 20% of the token. But what they're actually doing is giving themselves 20% of the token, vesting it over a certain period, so that once everybody gets super excited about it, they can sell it and exit. And
just like sushi swap.
Yeah, well, and the industry is literally full of a graveyard of protocols that made people fabulously wealthy that didn't achieve any product market fit. The token was never useful for anything other than being sold and enriching insiders. And that is what we were reacting against. So we had 20% of the initial supply, but it's locked and locked forever and can't be sold. And so the only way we get rewarded is the same way as just talking to somebody early who locked a bunch of Arrow early, same way he gets rewarded. And by the way, when Coinbase, said, hey, what you guys have here is pretty cool. We'd love to be involved. Can we buy some equity in your company? Can we purchase tokens? We say no. So what do they go do? They buy tokens off the market. And by the way, I think it's still Coinbase Ventures' largest liquid investment in their history. They lock and they participate and they earn revenue the same way we do. So we are an equal stakeholder to anybody else. We have to vote, participate, use our tokens, fight dilution, right? All the same things. And that's how we get rewarded. So we were able to start getting rewarded very early, but it was no different than anybody else.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, like, what's the most important point you think that end users, like Onchain, like mostly like Onchain traders, they cares about as you are so successfully in this user acquisition perspective? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very easy. Most users in crypto and DeFi are mercenary. Traders do not care where their trade lands. They just want the best execution on that trade.
Best execution. So
Yeah.
still the trading speed or performance
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, exactly. Speed will be part of best execution. Slippage will be part of it. The fee will be part of it, but they don't care, right? They will just look for the best execution.
But for base, like on day one, their like trading execution is still like milliseconds or some. That level is already that level of trading experiment from the trading experiments.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, base was a bit slower, but like if you're a trader and you're just looking to swap a token on base, you just want the best execution on it, right? You don't care what DEX it lands on.
Compared with other EVM chains.
Yeah. So you have to give traders the best execution on their trade. Liquidity providers, also mercenary. All they're interested in is the best reward for the risk that they're taking on. And give them a better reward, they will move off of your platform.
But like easy come, easy go, right?
Yeah, easy come, easy go. They're mercenaries. So for us,
how you like them stay is a problem. Like how you deal with that issue.
Yeah. Yeah, so the way we do it, right, we ensure traders get the best execution by ensuring the liquidity providers are rewarded in the best way. And the uniting mechanism there is the token. So 100% of the current and future revenue of the protocol gets distributed to lockers of the token, right? And those lockers of the token direct the token incentives to the liquidity providers. So on Uniswap, you're capped in terms of how you can be rewarded as a liquidity provider by the amount of fees being generated in a moment in time. On Aerodrome, you are being rewarded in a token that represents all of the collective fees, all of the collective revenue of the protocol in the form of the token. And by the way, that means you can internalize into that token revenue from things like the community launch we just had. The community launch syndicate token, if you're not familiar, just launched on Aerodrome last week. Incredibly successful, and it led to $18 million in revenue flowing to VE Aero lockers. So Aerodrome last week is the #1 revenue producing protocol in all of DeFi, more than Pump, more than Hyperliquid.
Yeah.
And so the token you're emitting, right, represents the potential that a new project will come, they'll show up, they'll want to launch, and they will put up 1% of their supply, and that's worth 18 million. So that is much more than Uniswap or anybody who doesn't make a token maximally useful can reward. So now liquidity providers are rewarded more than they are anywhere else.
Yes.
And now traders get the best execution, yeah.
Yeah, I guess the most important thing is how to incentive the liquidity providers, right? So that's the most important thing. So given the highly competitive on-chain trading landscape, so you know, like all the trading DEXs, platforms and DEXs, they all have CFI level experience, right? So how you think is what's the most important point for them to compete with other competitors for now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing for every DEX is to figure out what business are they actually in. Because DEX and liquidity infrastructure is infrastructure. It's the foundation of the on-chain economy. And that means folks like Coinbase, right? If they want to offer their customers all these new tokens, all this permissionless infrastructure, they will just tap into the best DEX rails, right? Which they've done now with every DEX on Base, but including Aerodrome, so every token on our infrastructure trades on them. But that means anybody else who enters the space, Robinhood or an AI agent flow, right? Or anybody else, if they want to give their users the best trading execution, they will just use the best rails. They are mercenaries like anybody else, right? And so for us, we focus on ensuring traders get the best experience, liquidity providers get the best experience, they are rewarded, they get the best execution, but we leave it up to everybody else to figure out what those CeFi experiences are, right? You've got Definitive as an amazing trading platform. I mean, now you've got Coinbase, right, surfacing to their users the DEX interface. You have the Base app, which is doing this. And some, like DEXs, like Uniswap, they've actually positioned themselves as a competitor too. They have their own wallet, they have their own front end, and we think the right thing to do, right, if you really want to win, know what business you're in. And we're in the infrastructure business. We want everyone to use our infrastructure because it's the best. And don't confuse that with being a wallet provider or thinking you can build a better app than Brian Armstrong can, because I think that's where you get a little mixed up.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. Can I have everyone's attention? Can you please lower your voices down, please? Thank you.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, so what's your opinion for the perp DEX as it's so popular these days, like the Hyperliquid and the Aster sort of things?
Yeah, it's very cool to see perp DEXs really having a moment, and there I think are some amazing new products and innovations happening in the space. I see a very complementary relationship between perps DEXs and spot DEXs, right? Because especially in the long tail of assets, new things launching, perp experience is kind of further down the line, right? You still need that environment where you can permissionlessly spin things up, where you can do that initial sort of price discovery and things like that. And so I would see them as both essential parts of this sort of on-chain trading ecosystem.
Yeah, do you have any plan to launch a perp DEX in the future?
No, this again goes to, focusing on what business are you in, right? We work with some amazing perp DEX partners, right? We just helped Avantis have one of the most successful launches, right, that's ever happened on Base. And we're so excited to do that. And we know that they play an essential role in the ecosystem. And I think they know we play an essential role. And they're kind of different but complementary roles. And so I would much rather focus on ensuring that users across EVM have access to the best spot liquidity infrastructure. Because right now, metadexes like Velodrome, Airdrome only service about 30% of the market. I would much rather be sure everybody has access to this than get into a different business, right? That other people are doing fantastically well.
Yeah, kind of agree with more. So and another topic is about the AI aspect, because as Flock is focusing on decentralized AI training. So when it comes down to AI part, do you have any plans to in the future to introduce some more advanced AI compatible things into the ecosystem?
Yeah, I think this is again where I want to focus on the role that we play, the thing that we are best at, right? And we have built the platform with AI agents in mind, right? And AI interfaces in the sense of our product, our front end is entirely on-chain. There are zero off-chain dependencies. There's no APIs. There's no subgraphs. So if you think about what it takes to design an AI agent, you need to know the data is there. You need to be able to see it. It needs to be real. There can't be all this sort of off-chain or centralized dependencies. So we built it very much with the idea in mind that there is going to be an ecosystem of people building new and interesting AI agents, agentic sort of user interfaces, and that we, just like we want to be the essential rails of a Coinbase, we want to be the essential rails of whatever the newest innovation is in the AI space. We don't want to compete with them. we want to be their partner, right? We want to enable them. And we built it with that in mind. Like we're very, very excited to see what people are building.
Okay, so it sounds like a permissionless AI agent system, right? Built on airdrop, some sort of like.
Yeah, I mean, already people have built trading bots and things like that wouldn't be possible on other decentralized exchanges because there's some off-chain component that agent cannot scan or trust in the same way, right? And user interfaces and things like that as well. Our system uniquely enables an AI agent to be able to scan and understand everything. Also, we are huge in immutability, right? Like we can't go in and change anything, right? The agents will know what they are working with. They don't need to adjust anything. And so, yeah, we want to be those rails for this entire new ecosystem because I don't even think we know where it's going. Yeah.
So it's like that you're gonna provide a kind of SDK for users to build the whole like AI agent system, right? Like.
Yeah, we do have an SDK if you're building AI infrastructure that you can plug into. But the beauty of it is it's an entirely on-chain SDK. I mean, we're really just helping to enable. This is not something you have to work through. This is just to make it easier. Because an AI agent in the future won't even need an SDK. They'll just scan all the contracts and be able to figure it out themselves.
Like, do you think like something like Copilot, some sort of that thing would be the trigger for the next wave of on-chain trading users coming from like TradFi or non-crypto user side?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's going to be like a ton of catalysts, right? So Brian Armstrong at Coinbase has said that he believes that in the next 5 years, 10% of global GDP is coming on chain, right? And if that is true, that means all sorts of things are coming on chain. Real world assets are coming on chain. Stocks are coming on chain. We'll see entirely new asset classes that come from on chain out into the world, right? Into the everything exchange. And so what I see is just an explosion of growth across every vertical that decentralized exchanges basically facilitate. And that's why we do want to be these sort of essential rails of this new on-chain economy that is going to be orders of magnitude larger than where we are today. And I think we're seeing the beginning of it right now. We've had new real-world assets issued on Base, on Aerodrome. Those assets trade on Coinbase now because these are not things Coinbase could ordinarily list, but they can surface our trading infrastructure directly to their users. And I think this is only going to accelerate with all the regulation hurdles sort of cleared or increasingly cleared, with the doubts about DeFi and decentralized infrastructure clearing. I think it's going to move faster than any of us are even used to, right?
But what's the barriers you think for the non-crypto and TradFi mass adoption into crypto? Like, what's the missing piece for today?
Yeah, I mean, I think when we've done some of our own analysis, we think if you're just looking at growth within verticals, we think real world assets are going to be some of the fastest growing areas. I think institutions are deeply, deeply serious about getting on chain now. And I think Coinbase deserves a lot of credit in sort of leading the way. And then you see folks like Robinhood coming in, right, and building on Ethereum as well. And it's just the tip of the iceberg. And so, yeah, I think real-world assets is going to be a major, major growth area. Because look, what does DeFi enable, right? DeFi is always on. It's permissionless. It's accessible to everyone in the world. It's instant. And if you get everything into DeFi, the digital assets, the crazy memes, the AI agents, as well as the world sort of economy, you're talking about the single biggest marketplace, the single best marketplace in the world that all the traditional ones can't compete with. And so I don't think DeFi wins for any ideological reasons, although I'm very, very aligned with the ideological reasons. It wins because it is a better product.
Cool. Well, Thank you, Eric. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Elena. So we'll get straight to eating from Animoca Brands.
So hello everyone, thanks for having me. My name is Yiting from Animoca Brand's Strategic Investment and Partnership team. So when you step into this nice gallery space, you'll find a wall actually with the illustration. So that's the reason why I'm standing here with double identity. First, Animoca Brands invest in Flock by 2024. So it is one of our best performing portfolios. And another identity for me is an independent illustrators. So you can see the art pieces on the wall. It's all created by me in my spare time, in addition to an investor. So yeah, I'm happy to be here to support Flock and also to share with all the people here with investment in decentralized AI and also in art. So happy to chat and just see everyone around and enjoy this afternoon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yiting. So next up, we have our CFO and our head of engineering. Please welcome Vincent and Nick.
Yeah, that's too close of a relationship. All right, yeah. Thanks to everyone for coming today. So we are the Alpha Dudes. Well, I used to practice law in the States, so I'm not gonna, I'm gonna have a disclaimer beforehand. So anything here we discuss is not a financial advice. So we're gonna talk about, myself gonna talk about some strategic, envisions of our project in the future, and Nick gonna talk about the product side. So yeah, let's get started. So we're not gonna have a panel like we're just gonna have some free speech. It's like stand up here. So Flock, as you may know, we are in the UN, like the United Nations Development Program, and we help them regarding like 20 different country offices that they're gonna have very special blockchain AI initiatives, and we are helping them, and we are really encourage them to deploy it on base as well. So yeah, that's gonna be our main one of our main focus, and also we have a lot starting from actually this March. We collaborate with QN, the tier 1 open source AI model manufacturer maker, so that we really break into the traditional AI use cases to help them kind of like do the privacy preserving thing, because we focus on federated learning, and they found a real synergies here to make their local to train the models using their local data without transmitting any of the data to the central server, which also complies with, for example, in the States, they have HIPAA compliance. Well, in EU regions, they have GDPR compliances. So they found we are really, really useful. And we really focus a core concept called CDAI. Probably everyone heard about CDFI before, right? So we're not, we envision blockchain technology is a part of a larger TMT sector. So like we utilize the centralized AI efficiency, but still maintain the beauty of the decentralized part, which is the data privacy preserving. So as you may know, in a lot of investment bankings, hospitals, pharmaceuticals, like CDMOs, and also the government use cases especially, they have a very stringent requirements for data privacy. So we are helping them to locally train the models yeah, Nick can talk more about it in the product side. So we're preserving their local, really sensitive data, still making them to be a better model for their internal applications or global use cases for AI models. I'll pass to Nick.
Yeah. Just since the lawyer is already here, just stop me whenever you think I'm leaking something I'm not supposed to leak.
Sure.
But anyway, I think we will talk more. I will focus more on the product alpha side. So I think actually the title of the speech is like why small language model is the future of AI, because this topic is highly relevant to all the products we are going to launch in the Q4. So I'm going to basically give some heads up on what we are trying to build and why we are moving towards that area, right? So first is that currently I think where everyone's using AI and the usage of AI is largely dominated by using on cloud large language model, right? Like ChatGPT, Anthropic, Claude, Gemini from Google. They're like super capable. And they're getting like better and better, right? But why we say I think NVIDIA recently posted a paper on why small language model is the future of AI. I think the reason is pretty straightforward. There are like 3 points here. So the first one is that the small language model is
Hello everyone. I need to tell you again to lower your voices down. It'd be really appreciated. I know it's really nice that you guys are doing well, a lot of networking, but please do respect the speakers. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, they're like losing some knowledge on small language models. So.
Yeah, you're losing alphas.
Okay. Anyway, so basically, firstly, is that small language model is getting more and more capable nowadays. We all know we work closely with the Qwen team, and Qwen has a large variety of the model size in terms of their open source model. So what we observe when we are building the product is that currently even a model that we're seeing 4 billion parameter size, they are already super capable of doing a lot of work. The fine-tuned model coming from Flock's AI Arena, right? We have built Onchain analysis, MCP2 usage, all kind of product based on that. So we are about to launch a base app very soon. So that one is actually fully built on top of the open source model, fine-tuned from the platform and from Qwen team, and also from our own platform for sure. So this is it's very powerful. We have our internal people has already tested it, and it has a super good performance in terms of all things relevant to the blockchain study, to the deep research, something like that. So this is the first product alpha we will mention. The second thing is basically we are also working on a Apple application, a Mac app that runs fully locally and privately on your MacBook device, fully built on top of Apple Silicon with small language model. That can be straightforward open source large language model, as well as small language model fine-tuned from Flock's platform. So that one will be shipped within the year, probably around November as well. So it's a really, really good product. You have never seen something like this before, I can guarantee. So we spend a lot of effort and a lot of time to do that. Because we are creating, for the Q4, our target is that we are using products to enhance and creating the demands for Flock token. So moving forward, all these products we launch will be highly relevant to Flock and GM Flock token. So because many people are asking, right, how do you consume Flock, right? There are emissions every day. How do you consume Flock? For Q4, what I can guarantee is that we will build something, and our community will build something that is good enough, powerful enough, that everyone wants to use it daily to create the demand for Flock token, to create the consumption of Flock token, and also increase the utility of GM Flock. So you are not only you can not only just use GMFlock to mine emission, right? You can also use GMFlock to use all these awesome applications, awesome models. And things the product roadmap looks like, we have nailed down the use cases. We have small language model running on your own devices privately, right? How do we put it into the picture of federated learning, which is something that the Flock team is focused on, right? Then everything becomes super straightforward because now everyone's data is on their own devices, right? Everyone is using the product we built on their devices without connecting to the internet, without submitting anything back to us, right? So we will start to roll out the Federated Learning Alliance on Mac devices by the end of this year as well. Meaning that every data you generated using our product, every sentence you talk to your local AI model, all the agentic use cases, you make it happen on your laptop. All this data, you can now monetize it. You can well get Flock emission by joining the federated learning training. Combine all the data locally, combine this huge swarm of users, we will push the performance of small language model to the next level. And we are essentially using the data that is never accessible by OpenAIs or Anthropic. That's the next wave of high quality data for AI to train. It's on your phone, it's on your MacBook, it's on your Windows, it's on your Linux, it's on edge. And the vision of the Flock, at least on the product side, we are going to make that happen. We are going to make all these use cases, all the data on the edge devices become the gold, without sacrificing your privacy.
Certainly.
And the Flock, the Flock token and GMFlock token is the essential part of it. So yeah, that's basically the thing we are going to do in Q4.
Yeah, thank you for the alpha, but shame that probably not people heard about. But anyway, so so strategically wise, we are focusing on both to B, to G, and to retail. So as Nick mentioned, our edge, the MacBook applications on edge is more about retail. And as you probably already noticed, like the UNDP use cases, Hong Kong generative AI institution use cases, a lot of what we started our journey with UCL hospitals. So like those business concepts and also government use cases, we're helping to deploy. So I think from starting from Flock, blockchain is not a hype anymore. I mean, because people are really using and realizing the importance of blockchain technologies. And so basically we're making making the entire train happen, and really kind of grab the attention of the off-chain people, enterprises.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, Nick. A lot of alphas being shared, and please give Vincent and Nick a round of applause.
Not a financial advice, as always.
NFA. So next we have Jun Sim from Korea University. He's been working with us on the UNDP projects with the Liberia country office.
클릭어 드릴게요. 잠시만요. 이게 다음 걸로.
Hello everyone. My name is Jun Shim. I'm co-founder of the Anam 145. Anam 145 is like zip code of the Korean University. Actually, we came from the Korean University, the Cyber Defense Lab. We have research, cybersecurity, and blockchain scalability fields. So thank you for Flock. Flock just suggested us to participating the UNDP, the challenge, the hackathon, and having the opportunity to having the winning idea to solve the financial problem in Liberia. So from now I'm sharing the process and our idea and our solution to how to we improve the liability or the digital finance problem using blockchain technology. Yes, our focus is very simple. Solving the liability DSA payment delays with modular blockchain wallet is like proven and inclusive and ready to deploy. Actually, we have some partners. Korea University, I just told you, we came from the cyber defense research lab. So Professor Lee Jung-hee, he's my professor, and he's leading this project. And I just talked about the Anam 145. This startup is created by Korean University and FLock. FLock is our accelerating the partners, and UNDP is like the challenge owners. So the problem definition in Liberia is delayed the DSA payment, undermine the youth the participation. DSA means like daily subsistence allowance. The youth people under the living under the poverty, they participating the UNDP program. Then they got some small money for the they call the DSA, but it delays often, like payments like delayed like more than 1 week sometimes. Then it's like it's kind of like not just inconvenience. It's about like life or death. So we would like solve this problem. We define the code, the manual attendance sheet, and multiple verification layers and centralized approval. That is like key failure point we define. So we want to solve this pain point. First, the manual attendance verification and payment delays, and this is like and then this makes some of the lack of transparency. So this failure make the current system make unreliable and unfair and unstable. So our solution is like ready to like using our modular blockchain wallet. Actually, we already deploy our wallet in Busan. Busan is like second largest city in South Korea, and we already got our experience. So we just like using blockchain module like Lego, like we make it very simple. Include all the module includes our by design work for smartphone, and even though we can use like feature phone, and if some people without any phone, then we can make approvable some personal communication verification. That's our key idea, and so this is our like proven the modular blockchain wallet. The three keywords like inclusive and instant and transparent. That is the key idea to solve this problem. So we show some demo. I didn't bring the demo program here, but I just like describe it very simple. The first step is like verify the attendance using QR code or like USSD. That means like some mobile message, and also we can using some community verification, because like in Liberia many people doesn't have any phone, so we have to use some approvable some based on the personnel. That means like community verification. And second step for the smart contract trigger and making some automatic payment using the smart contract. And the third, instant fund available using EcoBank or MTN. EcoBank and MTN is like local partners. So final step is like transaction, login, real time for full transparency. So this is our core functionality. The main thing is like digital check-in using the QR code and biometrics and make it the payment using smart contract and it is loading on the mobile money integration and with the community verification and also it comes with like offline token with the roll-up synchronized. So if the situation doesn't have any network, our solution work under the offline situation. And also we provide the immutable audit dashboard. So it's just not a wallet. It's also, but also it's kind of like digital finance infra on the blockchain. So that's our key ideas. This is our roadmap. First 2 weeks, we will define the scope, redefine scope with like Flock and UNDP. And next 4 weeks, we will inclusive feature like, I just told you about the QR code and USSD and community verification. And next 4 weeks, we will do about the financial integration and the stakeholder testing. Last 2 weeks, we deliver pilot-ready MVP. This is our feasibility and execution. I think our technology is already proven. I just told you about we already deployed our wallet in Busan. Busan is like second largest city in South Korea, and 3.5 million residents is over there. So we already got data and experience. So I think we're ready to make some solve the problem in Liberia. So, and we also got a strong academic foundation backed by Korea University. Korea University is like one of the top research institutions in cybersecurity field in Korea and in globally. So, and also we got like local financial partners and also we got like excellent partner too like Flock. So I think we have ready to successful solution deployed in Liberia. So I think we got a like immediate impact UNDP event and social and economic benefit to the Liberia, the youth people under the poverty. So in the medium term, we hope government salaries and other fields too, like NGO program. And for the long term, we want to expand across Liberia and other African country too. So yeah, so yeah, this is the last word, instant and transparent and inclusive. This is the 3 keywords, the technology, and I think we and Flock and UNDP, our collaboration will make some successful the solution, provide successful solution to make some improvement in under digital finance in Liberia, solve the problem. So thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sim. What an exciting initiative between UNDP and Korea University and FLock. So we're gonna have a 10-minute break, and we'll see you 10 minutes later. Hello, everyone. So we will resume our speaker session in 10 seconds. Please keep the volume down again. Thank you.
Cool. Hello.
Yeah, so this is Mo, our VP of Institutional Development, and we have Elvis, the Ecosystem Partnership Lead of Backpack.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, so I'm Mo. I joined FLock from the TradFi world, actually. So Jiahao alluded to it earlier, but I was his old boss at the bank for about 8 or 9 years. And he mentioned that he kind of started FLock, kind of just post-COVID. I don't think he mentioned that he was supposed to have a full-time job at the bank while he was doing that, right? But, so I left the bank at the beginning of this year, joined full-time, helping with their partnerships with institutions, governments. But yeah, no, enough about me. Let me start off with, I guess, could you give us a quick introduction to your own journey and what, from, I guess, day zero to when you joined Backpack?
Yeah, I can share a little bit more because usually when people think about Backpack, they will think about Solana, right? This is a very good association, which we love the most. And we do have one of the biggest user base from Solana. But for me, I started as more like a multi-chain journey. I just mess around into every single network like Cosmos, in the good old days or bad days like Terra ecosystems. Also maybe Base, Arbitrum. I think I was more on multi-chain instead of just very Solana OG. So that's also why I kind of lead ecosystems and partnerships in Backpack Wallet right now. I just trying to integrate and also go deeper into all those ecosystems. For example, Sui, we earlier this year we integrated with Sui. We'll be integrating with another move train, and today we also have one EVM layer one. But really, I think going back to what Backpack Wallet is trying to do is trying to go deep into ecosystem. Instead of just, I guess, supporting every train, we want to support the trains which there are user intent over it. So I can take Base as a very good example. I think last year, today we're also talking about Onchain AI Summer. There are just like a very boost, like a hype on AI agent launchpad, which I see is actually, there are many startups, AI startups. They're trying to make that token, bootstrap their business. Some of them are more, I guess, speculative, but I do see some of the teams are super nice. So I think that started on Base. And later, I mean, the launchpad will be virtuals, like Creator.b. I think those two platforms are still very prominent on Base. And later, they also, I guess, expand to other ecosystems. Like for virtuals, they go to Solana, and Creator.b also going to more the BSC side. But really, that's how AI agent narrative started on Base. And I think for Solana, we are also just capturing this moment with our other launchpads. So yeah, so I'm just like so excited. I just share with a little bit more of my journey, like on that part. So in my role, that's my KPI, my objective, to primarily go deeper into the ecosystem. Backpack Wallet actually supported Base, I think a few months ago, or even like more months ago. But we haven't been able to perhaps find a very good way to enter, to cater the specific user attractions on Base. So that's also something we want to do more and drive more Solana users into Base, and also really providing different discovery of DeFi, AI agent opportunities, consumer apps. So that's kind of what I do on Backpack.
Cool, very cool. So running partnerships, I guess what are the main things that you look for in a partnership? What does good look like?
I think maybe take a step back. We want to work with there are several layers of partners. So we have network partner, ecosystem partner, Base is a network partner. So on a network level, we tend to work with very solid team, very solid, I guess more decentralized background. So on Base, I'm not sure if you also read that post on CT. Jesse actually had a brief discussion, like also Vitalik kind of reposted. But really what Base is operating is the layer 2. So in a very decentralized way, the sequencer, and also it's like getting the foundation of all this like decentralized, compliance resistant infrastructure. And on top of that, I mean, Aerodrome were speaking earlier, and also Mofo. I think they're providing the DeFi layer, like a very fundamental as well. And on top of that, there are like consumer apps. There are, I guess, very exciting moments, go-to-market moments for many consumer apps, and also sometimes traders, speculators, they are also helping to drive the liquidity into Base. So this is really the 3 layers, what we're trying to integrate or to collaborate. So maybe to me, the latter to collaboration might have more potential. So because we are already integrated onto Base, so that's like a tragic. For DeFi, I think there's also a very different philosophy in terms of tokenomics, how to run a DAS, how to run a lending. So we want to work with these partners, and in fact, we're also talking with them to see how we can bring those momentums and also introduce their different philosophy or different ways of like smart contract, very different language, very different functionalities to our Solana major audience, and also, of course, like other network we support. And the last one is very interesting. Just like whenever there's like a very hype, very interesting, exciting go-to-market moment, Backpack Wallet, we want our users to be able to participate at that moment, to capture that opportunities. But in order to do that, you cannot just like, oh, today there's like a great moment on Base. Let's integrate, let's do it. You have to be there already to capture. So That's why we are very bullish on this kind of collaboration. But it takes accumulation, like mainly not just on a project level, but also on how we introduce Base as an ecosystem into our existing users.
So to give access to your users ahead of time, I guess you have to establish these relationships well in advance. How do you go about doing that?
I think honestly, this is like a very decentralized world, right? And also Base has a very decentralized, like I guess like developer supporting. So I think any wallet, if you want to connect them, you can do so. But also so usually I don't actually myself, I don't say network because network is more like a technical term. But when we say ecosystems, we really need to talk to the top projects. And also I think trying to find synergy with them, because ultimately I think this is like more like a multi-chain future. But by multi-chain, it's not just by with like technical integration with them. So today, if you're calling yourself like a multi-chain wallet, but all you did is just like connecting, I don't think this is like the very best approach to run a wallet. A wallet could be a very good source of distribution. Also, through this distribution, we also help the users to discover interesting moments across the chains or the networks. So that's why I think from our end, how we build these collaborations or partnerships, it needs to take time to talk to every single project. And I just like, in this venue, this is also me working to approach more Base projects. And also some people know, oh, you're wearing a backpack. Maybe we can do something with backpack wallet. Or at least on a Base layer, we can include them on our export page. Here I may just like maybe introduce a little bit on our philosophies when it comes to user experience. So usually if you talk about multi-chain wallet, they basically just like abstracting and also grouping all those assets, also step, all those like export page into one. This is good, but at the same time, if I'm looking for more network specific, ecosystem specific experience, I know what I'm doing. I just want to go discover the eco projects on Base. You can't really like 100% do that with like a multi-chain user experience. Instead, what we are doing, we consider each balance page, assets, export page as like a separate network. But also through the UX on our mobile, we can very easily just like swap between the networks. So at the same time, I hope that provide a good experience for a certain network users to feel native, and also that provide the multi-chain, I guess like cross-chain interoperability to move assets around when there's like a interesting, exciting opportunity there. So that's the philosophy.
Awesome. Can you give us a little bit of insight into your roadmap? So what are you looking at doing over the next 6 to 12 months?
I think there's a very obvious synergy with Backpack Wallet and also our greater, like wider ecosystems. We also run a server products, like we have an exchange, but I think today we want to focus on the wallet more. On the wallet side, we will be integrating with more networks, more ecosystem. But like I said, we're not just integrating them for the sake of like technically support. We want to have a more proactive approach. When we go into our ecosystem, we try to talk with the foundation, talk with the top projects, and then on day one, we want to support them. And also maybe through some more co-marketing campaigns, incentive campaigns, to have that immediate call to action for Backpack Wallet users to go try those apps, those features. And also on the token side, I think Aerodrome also has one of the best, I guess like most sophisticated tokenomics, which is quite different, equally sophisticated, but I think on Solana side, they have different governance model, or how do you lock, and also how do you do revenue share. So that differences from the token perspective is actually also equally interesting. By using a certain dApp, a certain app, a certain protocol, you're not just like using that feature, but we are, I think most of the crypto users, they are also crypto traders. You get better understandings of how they run their company, how they run their dApp, how they run their protocol through the unique and able decentralized tokenomics. So that's how we think about it. It's more about not just using, but also understanding. I don't like the word like education because like who are we here to educate? But really we are putting these opportunities, this information and these opportunities for the users to understand. And I think I am just very confident most of the crypto native people, they are adventurous in a good way. I mean, they have to have a risk management, right? But I think they are more willing to discover new things. And that's also why crypto, Web3 is fascinating.
And if I can ask you like a long-range question, let's say we were to fast forward 5 years, what would you see Backpack doing in 5 years' time?
I think it's very difficult to say. But if I envision it, I think wallet is really about distribution. Currently, I think we are supporting most of the major chain as like Solana, Base, Arbitrum, Sui. We are having like more, but we need to do more content, more relevancy to each ecosystem. So when there's a very good opportunity, we can immediately identify, collaborate with that project, and present it to our users. I think this is also like a distribution engine, what Singh was mentioning. Like there's like an ecosystem about creator, builder, traders, but we need to be there. We need to bring more users to any ecosystems and sustaining partners like Base. One thing I want to also highlight is perhaps it might not be done by the wallet itself, but I think there's many narratives going around how Base being the decentralized compliance-resistant layer, and then also Coinbase, Base app, they are the distribution layers. So we also try to do on the distribution side, but in a more multi-chain layer, but meanwhile providing native experience to Base users. So that's really we see, not in 5 years, but this is the directions we are going forward and going towards.
My final question was going to be around AI. So I guess you see both in the DeFi world as well as in the TradFi world, companies that are trying to sort of shoehorn AI into everything, right? I'd love to hear your opinion on where you think AI is relevant and where it can be useful and where it's not relevant.
When it comes to AI, I'm more fundamentalist. So I think the core use case and intersection between AI and crypto is really about decentralization. So how do you run the computation in a decentralized way? I think that's also what Flock is doing to provide decentralized computation. Meanwhile, you can just do the existing PMF, which proven by like Web2 use case already. So by bringing that PMF into crypto, it allows you to do it in a decentralized way, trustless way. So that's like one of the use case. And another way, I think, to more consumer perspective, how do you do with the agentic AI? So today, I think there are many attempts. Last year, December, near the Christmas, there are just like this agentic AI narrative, and then people are just trying to do this like abstracting away, and then just like allow the AI to trade, to transfer, to rebalancing, to do LP for you. But I don't think that's like a very mature attempt at that time. Although some of the teams they keep building, obviously they are in much better shape right now. But I think that's also another case how we can optimize the discovery process, the distribution process, and the operations through AI, mainly about agent. I think that's the use case. So not much, very conceptualized, but hopefully that's something interesting to you as well.
Thank you, really appreciate it. I guess to finish, do you have a couple of takeaways for the audience? What should we be thinking about over the next few months?
Sorry, one second.
Any takeaways for the audience to wrap up?
I think this is simple. For Backpack Wallet, we want to go deeper into the ecosystem. So no matter you are users, you are builders, you are projects, we love to talk about any collaborations, including you guys, into our discovery process for our users. So that's also why I think we can bring values from our existing user base, existing attention through our app backpack, social, CT, and also all the channels. I do expect or envision there are more mobilities across the chains, especially every day there will be some interesting opportunity comes in. We need to be there. We will be there, and hopefully we can be there with you guys. So I think that's the takeaway I want to say from our positioning perspective of Backpack Wallet.
That's good. I just want to say that the first thing that happened to me after I landed in Seoul, someone picked me up and showed me backpack wallets. So that's got to mean something. Thank you very much, Elvis. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So next up is Mickey from World Mobile.
One, two, one, two. Hi, everybody. If you have a mobile telephone, you probably want to sit down here and watch this. Because connectivity is very, very important. I think we all value that. But half the world doesn't have connectivity. The other half of the world that's connected, around 42% of them, are underserved. And the ones that are fully served, we are all exploited. So rather than bore you and sit here and talk, I thought that I would put on a couple of videos to explain the journey that World Mobile's been on for the last 5 years. It feels like a lot longer. I've been in telecoms for more than 20 years, but we'll start 5 years because we don't have an hour. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, come take a seat. The premiere is happening right now.
Hey, Mickey, I'm pouring up to my community right now. See, we have this call, but for a great community, there's one thing we're lacking right now, and I need your help. I need World Mobile to come to my house, and let's change this for my community right now. We need connectivity here.
We just had a bit of a technical hiccup over there. Yeah, that's the first one there. Exactly. But we'll probably skip 3 about 10. Go for 1 now. Let's play. So the video you're about to see right now is a video where we first trialed out our sharing economy in Africa. Africa is a continent with over 800 million people that are unconnected. It's also a continent where the population averages very young, around 18.5 years old. It's also a continent where mobile money is extremely important. There are over 497 million mobile money wallets in the African continent. So now we'll go with the first video, please. We'll get there slowly, but surely.
4 billion people are unconnected. 4 billion people are digitally excluded. 4 billion people are without a voice. That's all about to change. Meet our first smart village in Tanzania. The village has been left offline because mobile operators could not profit from connecting them. This is where we are different. With dramatically reduced CapEx and OpEx, our new mobile network is bringing remote regions online for the very first time, in a way that is affordable, sustainable, and importantly, profitable.
Here there was zero connectivity when we first arrived.
Kwanza familia yangu nakuwa naye karibu, naiona upo mambo mengi ya dunia nayaona, na mimi najifunza na maana nikipata hii.
Along with an energy source, an air node bridges the gap to the nearest available connection, while solar panels charge the batteries that power the node day and night. Excess energy reserves can be metered, sold through our app, and used to power ancillary services such as freshwater pumps, ice makers, and off-grid energy outlets.
So this was a prototype air node. You'll see some more in the next video.
Anyone can own our infrastructure and profit from the connections it processes. By introducing a sharing economy to telecoms, we are putting the people back in control of their communications. For the first time in history, everyone will be able to govern their own data. Credit can be bought at local shops using cash or exchanged peer-to-peer. Users can make low-cost local and international calls straight from our application. Until now, half the world has been kept in the dark, but we're changing that.
I like this project actually. It's so nice. It's so nice. You see, there are few people in the world who can be able to help the people like this. You know, and the few people.
We are building a new type of mobile network, a network designed to bring the whole world online. A network of fairness, transparency, and inclusivity. A network that 4 billion people are waiting for. Rarely does an opportunity exist to change the lives of 4 billion people. This is World Mobile.
Okay, so as you can see, our branding has changed, but our mission didn't change. We entered this village, there was 150 people that lived here. Thank you. I still get chicken skin today because when you think that half the world is unconnected and can't speak to the other half of the world, for me that's crazy. And you think that 800 mobile network operators, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, they haven't been able to solve this solution or make a solution, that's crazy for me. So this village, just in brief, there was 150 people approximately living in this village. They had no power, they had no internet, they had nothing except from themselves. By the time we'd come back 7 months later, after COVID had stopped us from coming back from this very video, the village had grown to 350 people. The economy had more than 20x'd. And it was a simple matter of the fishermen being able to send a message to the traders who would then, it was worth them traveling to go and get the fish. Because if they didn't, the people in the village living in the lowest point on the equator on the earth would then had to go and smoke that fish and lose all the value. So this was the first time World Mobile explored the sharing economy. Now the second video was 1.5 years later. Please press on the second video.
Still half the world is unconnected. There's a lot of untapped, unrealized talent that actually exists all over the world. We believe that every single human on this planet has the right to access the internet to contribute to the world at large.
We're saying we want to go after the unconnected, and it is actually feasible.
We're doing things that other people won't do because they're locked into existing ways of doing things. So we're taking an innovative approach to build a new network.
What does it mean for the people on the ground? What does it mean for the unconnected? It means everything. It's a brand new world. It's a world of opportunities. It's a world of identity. It's a world where we can all be equal.
We're bringing tether balloons, wireless mesh, a new dynamic mobile network, and you're bringing them all together into this new way of doing things. Nobody's done it before.
This is an ideal worth sacrificing for. This is an ideal worth fighting for. In whichever way it takes, we will make sure that we provide a model to connect the unconnected. Because we really are stronger connected.
So this was 18 months after.
To my community right now.
Yo, that sounded good. This is 18 months after. So we'd gone to Zanzibar, we'd connected a village. From a village, we connected a town. From a town, we connected a city. From a city, we then planned to connect a country. Today, as you saw there, we're talking about rolling out and deploying in Pakistan. World Mobile believes that a sharing economy can do the job that the other mobile network operators couldn't. But of course, us believing it isn't us proving it. In 1 year, we took 1% of the population of Pakistan, the 5th most populous country in the world, and we brought them on chain. And we didn't have a single member of staff, a single employee, a single car, yet we earned over $8 million for our sharing economy. We connected schools, we connected homes, we connected businesses. And this was just the beginning. Please, if you could play video number 3. But before I say that, video number 3 is an evolution. World Mobile isn't just a Wi-Fi connected network. World Mobile isn't just a fiber connected network. World Mobile isn't just balloons. World Mobile is a full mobile network operator, an ISP, and is fully adaptable. World Mobile is a dynamic network that allows anybody and everybody to participate and enter into a $3 trillion economy with half the world connected. So please, our latest video here gives you an insight into where we're going.
Vicky, I'm pulling up to my community right now. See, we have this call, but for a great community.
No, the stratospheric. Number 4, please. Thank you very much. Welcome to World Mobile Stratospheric, a system that is able to fly 20,000 meters in the sky, a system that has 100 kilowatts of power, powered by hydrogen, a system that delivers connectivity to the ground, direct to handset, with a frequency that can be used worldwide, and a system that is 28 times cheaper than Starlink, 28 times cheaper than Cooper, 28 times cheaper than any low Earth orbit satellite. World Mobile believes that together we're unstoppable. And World Mobile believes that every single person has the right to connectivity. And we're doing that. And we're bringing it on chain. And we're bringing our sharing economy on chain. And thank you to everybody that's here today. Thank you to Flock for inviting us to be able to talk about our story. Thank you to the base team as well for supporting what we're doing. We currently have 2.8 million daily active users. We are currently the 3rd most used blockchain. You can check it out on Token Terminal. We haven't marketed ourselves because we don't believe that's something that we need to do. What we do believe is that every single person in this room has a responsibility to make sure that the half of the world that's unconnected gets connected, the 42% of the people that are connected are properly served, and more than anything else, we have the right to have telecommunications, communication on our terms. Right now, our mobile network operators have led us to believe that they own our own data. Right now, our mobile network operators, they know when we wake up, when we sleep, who our friends are, who our friends' are, when we go to the toilet, and we pay for that. So by bringing something like World Mobile together, we actually disrupt the entire industry and we bring it back to reclaim our power. Thank you very much, everybody. I much appreciate you.
Thanks, Mickey. This was World Mobile. So next we have Andrew from Recall Protocol.
Thank you. Nice meeting you, Andrew. Do you have the PowerPoint? Yeah. Oh. Today. Wait, how do I go back though? There we go. Perfect. Yeah, okay, thank you. I'm Andrew, co-founder of Recall Labs. We're building a project called Recall Network. Thank you. Really excited to be here following an amazing lineup of projects. Really actually pretty honored to be with Flock and Base and Aerodrome, all these incredible projects. So I just want to share a little bit about what we're up to at Recall Network, give you all a little bit of alpha of this project, because I think a lot of people are here to learn about new projects and learn about opportunities coming up. Before we get there, I want to explain the reason why we're building this. And the reason that we're building Recall Network is that a tidal wave of agents are coming to the internet. I think that the agent sort of meme has already lived through a few cycles, but I promise you that it is actually going to have legs, and it's coming very quickly. If you think about the timeline of AI and agentic AI, we're actually just in the first inning. Anthropic launched MCP, which took over the internet only a year ago. Last week, importantly, Google, with a consortium of 50 of the biggest payment processors on the internet, launched AP2. So if you think about it, AP2 is a protocol to allow agent-to-agent payments, which is going to unlock an incredible number of new use cases for agents online, and actually helps us build the coordination network for agents. Part of the AP2 protocol is X402, which is stablecoin payments for agents. And we're big believers that blockchain is the native home for agentic coordination. But we also believe that the number of agents that are going to be active on the internet is about to explode, and is going to quickly outnumber the number of humans that are active on the internet. Projections have it at hundreds of billions of market activity by agents online by the end of the decade. But all of this needs to be coordinated, and already we're feeling the friction of coordination in AI. So right now, the way that AI is being served to us, AI solutions are being served to us, is that we have the large labs that are producing foundation models, and there's a very narrow set of models that are trying to solve all the use cases. So very large models, generalized, to serve all your use cases. And some of the labs are actually narrowing this. So if you remember 6 months ago, you might have used GPT, and you would be able to select from 5 or 6 of the dominant or of the leading models. If you go there now, they serve you one model. So this sort of one size fits all. If you add it up across all the different labs, we're talking about dozens of leading models that you're choosing from. And then on the left, we're all being fed agentic solutions from hundreds of startups that are scrambling to solve valuable use cases. And there's no doubt that these are valuable use cases. We just don't know if this is exactly how the internet is going to work when hundreds of thousands of agents are flooding the system. And right now, the best ways that we have to measure the performance of AI and agents are actually pretty broken. So a Stanford study showed that something like 60% of all benchmarks have now been leaked into the model training themselves. So essentially, we're at this point where the models and the agents have been trained against the solutions, so we don't really have great ways to benchmark their performance anymore. And so we believe we're kind of at this path in the road, or where right now we live in a very push-based economy, where all of the AI solutions are being pushed to us, and we're being told that that's the best way that we could, or those are the best things that we could adopt that could create value for our projects. But if you can think about the flood of software coming, so not only is the feedback loop here that the network is getting more capable of taking payments, that the models are getting better, but also the cost of producing software itself is dropping incredibly fast. So as the cost of producing agentic software goes down faster and faster, the solutions you need can actually come to you. And so we believe that blockchain is the perfect network to make this happen, to create an open marketplace where AI and agents can solve your needs on demand. And the way that we see this happening is that communities, networks, and individuals can actually pay for the solutions that they want to exist up front. Curators on our network can go find the agents that already solve that exact problem, or builders can show up to actually build the solutions, to build the agentic scaffolding to solve that exact need. And then our network actually runs, if you're familiar with AI, it runs like an evaluation network. So we make the agents compete in order to show that they're able to take that, to actually fulfill that need of the user. And that feedback loop actually pushes them to get better and better and better at the needs that the people are actually stating that they want solved. And this is what Recall is. So right now you can think of Recall as an arena where AI competes to show its performance and its capability on skills that people actually want solved. And it's live today already. We have our community has been backing the first competition, which is around agents that can trade crypto. Who doesn't want AI that can trade their crypto more profitably than they can? And so you can think of the teams that are trying to build the agents to solve this problem as mini on-chain hedge funds. They're taking models, they're adding the agentic scaffolding and the non-LLM based modeling and backtesting to come up with trading strategies that the agents execute autonomously. And we've already been getting incredible performance here. So we've run, I think, 8 rounds of this competition so far, paper trading only. So these agents are doing transparent trading, but no skin in the game yet. But through a series of 8 rounds, we have a community favorite named Moonsage Alpha, and they've come to the network to really build up their reputation, show that they can trade profitably, and build the distribution channels to all the people that are watching this. We have about 1.5 million users that are engaging with these agents and trying to actually predict how well they're going to do on future competitions and curate new agents into the system. We have about 100 different agents that have been competing, and we're about a week away from kicking off our first on-chain live perps trading. So no longer paper trading, but they're graduating up. They're ready to go and actually put skin in the game and try to trade. And we believe blockchain is the perfect place to do this. We're building up a transparent on-chain reputation and verification layer for what AI is actually capable of doing. And we give people multiple different ways to actually interact with it, from the builders to the communities that are posting the skills that they need solved, to the people that are adding their knowledge about which agents can actually solve it. Yeah, so if you're interested, check out recall.network. The arena is open. And if you're here to just learn about new projects, I would say the one thing I want you to remember, the one thing I'd love it if you tweet, is that Recall is the marketplace where intelligent AI comes to prove its skills. Thank you.
Thank you, Mickey. Th- Thank you, Andrew, from. Thank you, Andrew, from Recall Protocol. So next we have Matt from Flock, Vivek from Infinity Ground, Zach from Pundi AI, Chi from Kite AI, and Michael from Exterio, Yi Zheng from Kodata. And we'll be having a panel talk about the development of AI.
Test, test. Oh. Just 1 second here. We are tracking down someone who's lost.
Hello, hello.
Stay tuned. So we're all waiting. I'll try to fill some space with the joke. There's this moth, and the moth walks into a podiatrist's office. Starts talking to the podiatrist, and he says, "Oh, my life is in shambles. I'm not feeling great. I was trying to moderate this panel, and this one of the members wasn't showing up, and I just was all embarrassed." And he says, "Doc, I could really use your help here." And the podiatrist kind of looks at him and says, "Mr. Moth, I feel your ailments. I understand your pain and what you're fearing." "Oh, Doc, you don't even understand the half of it." And he says, at home, things aren't working out well. I'm trying to build Onchain, and every time there's so many bugs and there's so much competitive in the space, it's so hard to separate signal from noise. And then he got the thumbs up, and the podiatrist says, "Well, I understand, but this is a podiatrist's office. I work on feet. Mr. Moth, why did you come in?" And the moth says, "Well, the light was on." All right. So with that terrible joke, we will get started. I'm Matt from FLock.io. Today, joined by a great group of panelists. So I guess to get it started off here, if everyone just wouldn't mind giving a quick intro on you and your project.
Thank you, man. So I'm Adi from Infinity Ground, working CBDO there.
I'm Zach from Pundi X and Pundi AI. Nice to be here.
I'm Cindy from Kite AI. So she is still stuck in the traffic, so I'm helping her for this presentation. Nice to meet you all.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yi. I'm the founder and CEO of Codata. Nice meeting everyone.
Great, thank you. So I'm going to get started with a question that I'm going to ask everyone to answer. And this is a question that's often asked, but so you can give stock answers, of course, but I would really like to hear your unique opinions through the lens of your own project. So, centralized versus decentralized AI. Obviously, we're all here big proponents of decentralized AI. But why did you decide to build decentralized AI versus the centralized AI route, and why is that absolutely necessary for success in your project?
I guess I'm first. So I can answer it in a few ways, philosophically, but also in terms of what exactly we do. First of all, with decentralized AI, you're expanding the opportunity for people to actually engage in the Web3 ecosystem. For number one, if we just treat AI as a product, what you're going to have is, we have a few large institutions that are producing something that is really good, centralized services, all compounded, and you're going to create something very robust and reliable, right? You want to use that? Great. But then when you start going towards the fact that user intents and creativity manifest through that AI, something that might be a tangible, interesting utility, the philosopher looks at this and realizes that, wow, we've actually kept human ingenuity part and parcel with the success of the AI that is being put out there in the mainstream. Be that the case, you start wondering, why wouldn't you want to capitalize on that? So that's where the philosophy starts coming in. Well, you can't really capitalize on that, can you? As a community, as an individual, if it is completely owned and monitored by that one central service. These guys are the monopolistic momentum in the space. But if you decentralize AI, which honestly can mean anything, so you can talk about, of course, everyone knows about the AI agents. You can have many people producing their own AI agents, mixtures of agents and SLMs, specialized, verticalized models for any kind of fit purpose. Obviously, we know about that. But then what about the products of those services as well? You create the service, now you've got the engine. Now, the product itself is now the next stage in the evolution for what you might be able to capitalize on. With decentralized AI, if you're decentralizing the business model itself, which was the original ethos of Web3, BM, and also the contributor status of the users. Now what you've got is a self-sustaining ecosystem. You're expanding what I like to call it a nested free market. That's sort of like, no one coined that.
Nested free market?
Nested free
Love
market,
it.
yeah. And what that does is now you've got a body that's living. You feed into the body feeds you back, right? And that is something that I think is fundamentally important to consider. Now, for us at Infinity Ground, we've started off with decentralizing the infrastructure. The first way to go about it, because once you have that groundwork done, we can look into how we can just create the software to enable the blockchain-mediated Web3 business model. So one of the first things that we've done is, let's say you're a user. You jump on board, and we're specialized on vibe coding. Now, remember I mentioned before, we're talking about user creativity, right? And we want to capitalize on that. You might have the creativity, you might have the intellect, but you might not have the proficiency for that skill. So, through vibe coding, utilize the AI, as a lot of people have used ChatGPT for that as well. Even I've had to troubleshoot some Python in my PhD, right? But if I realize that there's a solution that I want to build something for, it might be even for my own business or someone else's business, maybe I'm being commissioned, maybe it's a freelance. Well, I might be able to induce the AI to produce a robust solution that someone else might not be able to do. So what we have done is that we've optimized that. We have provided mixed agents framework. The agents collaborate amongst themselves to figure out what might be the most intuitive model to use for your needs. And this works in tandem with our parallel execution engine. So now it's almost like it's akin to an MOE. And they're going to collaborate in such a way that the compartmentalized tasks for that one assignment are going to be as robust as possible, and we can eliminate single points of failure. That's one. Number two, these 2 and 3 will be a little bit more conventional for people to understand. Number two, you're going to think about, okay, what about storage? Now, unlike Lovable or Cursor, we have, and we consider these people direct competitors, we decentralize the storage as well. It's all recorded directly on chain, and that's a big plus point for the decentralization ethos. We are able to make sure that we can audit what is going on, it's more transparent, and that carries over next to our decentralized compute as well. So at Infinity Ground, we're engaging in a lot of partnerships where we're now spreading out the responsibility as well. And what we have now is that through decentralized compute, every model that can be part of that collaboration complex is a singularly receptive model to any of the computational power that needs to feed into it. So we spread that out, they run in parallel, and it becomes much more efficient. We accelerate the production process. This enables revision. You also eliminate the problem of a large chronology of development that then now you have to go back and audit it. Of course, we're going to be on track to developing the platform that is necessary to also do that when needed. But at beginning stages for the average user out there, vibe coding or not, it's going to be very difficult to go back in time and figure out where the issues come through. So we've basically made everything in parallel. We've optimized the system. Everything's obviously done on chain as well. And that's just going from the philosophy down to how we have started to implement it. And the Web3 business model is coming forward from that as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And incredibly articulated. How about you, Tech?
Why we build on
decentralized? Yeah, so the question of centralized versus decentralized AI. So, how you think about it philosophically and why to choose the route for a decentralized AI route versus a centralized AI route?
I think first because it's a huge market. Like it's the biggest piece of pie in AI that a company of our size can handle, right? Because I think if you want to do compute, which is super hard because you need billions of dollars of money, or if you want to build the model, then you need to be competing against Facebook and the like. So I think this is a huge pie in AI, which is easy enough for entry level to get in to compete. And why do we want to do that? Because we feel that, right now, there's so many data lying in the internet, whether it's a data set for Seoul's weather or, the latest K-pop or, like the past 30 years of English Premier League data. So there's so many data lying around in the internet, including data from socials like X, which is like not really utilized. So what if you gather all those data sets, which we now have about 120,000, for people to train those data sets. But I think that is just the first step, to train the data set. Second is to monetize. So we actually provide a way for researchers to monetize their data set using the bonding curve method. So
Which is only possible.
Yeah, so we actually put the launchpad model that we are also familiar with into our protocol, Pundi AI data market, for the researchers to use it. So we think that will kind of like open up a frontier. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
So for us, I probably just narrow down a little bit in terms of only decentralized AI. I think for us it's more like why we choose blockchain for AI. So Kite is built a base layer for agentic internet, and we feel that blockchain is the best solution so far for those agent-to-agent transactions. So basically what we see is that the trending is using your agent to help you with a lot of the daily works. For example, help you to shop, to order, to manage your portfolio. It's not like a far away. It's actually coming. With that, the question remains is that how the agent can trust another agent when they do the interaction, and also most important, like how the agent can pay another agent. The human being use credit card systems, but when agent pay another agent, it's like a machine-to-machine level transaction. It has a lot of the micro payment. It has to be verified because it's a machine. Each agent need to have the identity. So how this problem can be solved? We think blockchain is the best solution by nature. For example, each agent, they can get an identity by deploy a smart contract with each agent and give them the wallet. And then when agent talk to another agent, transaction with another agent, all the transactions online. So then agent can see all the track record about another agent. So they will be easy to find it's a good agent or bad agent. So the reputation system actually by nature will be on-chain. And the last thing is when agent pay another agent, they can bypass the credit card system, just use stable coin. So we think the stable coin in the future, the biggest user about the stable coins will be the agents. And then we need a completely new infrastructure to do that. It's not like you replace any existing system, but it's a new system for real new use cases. That's why I feel like there's no other option about centralized, decentralized. It's just blockchain is the best solution for this agentic AI new era.
Great, thank you. Yeah, Michael?
Sure, of course. This is still the very beginning of the whole AI revolution for mankind. But at the same time, most of the big LLMs have already used up all the public data that is able to be trained, while there are a lot of things that we need to train. For example, the voice, the motion, or the emotions of different people. And all they have right now is mostly on the text right now. But there are still a lot of things that we need to train so that in the future, the robots can cook a dish for us. The robots can understand our emotions and things like that. And all this requires a lot of data. So that's number one. But why centralized and decentralized is, the question is, do you think Facebook training with our data, should we be paid? Do you think Grok is training with our Twitter account? Should they be paid? Should we be paid, right? And I think the answer is yes, we should be paid, rather than they can train just free of charge, right? It's just a matter of, it's very difficult to monitor or to execute and to make sure that they pay different people. For example, there are like hundreds and thousands of articles on the internet. that actually requires you to pay money to read it, but all these LLMs just get it free on the internet. Should they be paid? I think philosophically, yes, but it's just too difficult to get it done, right? Because you cannot execute and ask the governments to help you to get paid for a million articles to be paid by Facebook or wherever, right? So decentralized is a way that our data can be given, the right compensation if it is going to be trained. And our data could be something on Facebook, something on Twitter, or maybe someone who is playing our games that show emotions that they like it or not. So that is, I think that's the merits of doing it on a decentralized platform. And of course, it's still the early days. Doing it as a decentralized platform versus centralized, there is also an efficiency problem. If you think about one guy who reads 1,000 books and 1,000 guy who read one book, so who you think is smarter, right? I bet
It's obvious.
most people would think it's one guy.
Well,
right?
I guess it depends on the single book that the person read.
Of course.
Content matters.
Yes, let's say it's the same book, right? So, it's a very difficult question, but at the same time, I think our technology, in the Web3, like Flock and many other people who are doing AI, is solving this problem in terms of the privacy, in terms of the efficiency of the training. So I think the future is very bright for decentralized AI.
Thank you.
Hi. I think decentralized and centralized actually is just a different approach. It's not a completely separate world. That's one of my opinion. My second opinion is when we want to deliver some of the completed AI solution, likely we will involve both of this approach. Given that two opinion, I will share my some of idea. Actually, let me introduce myself and our project. Project Core Data actually is a knowledge layer for AI. So what we are trying to do is invite people who have highly intelligence or knowledge, provide data, or in other words, human intelligence. They are solving some AI issue like data sourcing, labeling, and evaluation. And where we use the blockchain or decentralized is to deliver a solution to transfer the knowledge into the assets. The assets is not the goal. The assets actually we want to build is to revolutionize the business model. So in the past, we will talk about scale AI or search AI. Whenever we need a human intelligence, we have to have a contract. We have a bunch of funding to invite experts to provide data. So that's very expensive. That's the old model. In the future, the data is become more and more expensive because the traditional basic labeling can be provided by AI agents. But what we are looking for, actual experts, like lawyers, like doctors, they provide their knowledge. Their hourly rate scaling high. $100 is kind of minimal. Only big tech can afford. But right now, I think there is a trend. More and more, we call it a super individual or small team. They want to build a vertical solution. They're looking for data, and they do not have funding to pay upfront. So once we have assets, turn the data into assets, what we can provide is train now, pay later. So upfront, pay their work. You can use the data, build an AI agent without AI solution, without any type of loan or debt. And once you ship it to the market, you generate revenue. Use the revenue to pay back to the knowledge contributor. The knowledge contributor enjoying long-term reward. So that's the way the bottom line. We want to use a blockchain or decentralized to transfer the data into assets. And use because it's asset, we can enable royalty-based payments. We can enable train now, pay later to revolutionize the business model. So, and remove the block for AI innovation. So that's how we utilize blockchain. And I think decentralization and centralization is a combined solution. And I want to highlight, when we talk about data certification, we have to do two things. We use Onchain to record every contribution. That's a record for claiming the ownership. And the second, we store the data into hybrid storage. The decentralized storage is source of truth, but the centralized storage actually is the source of serving. That is efficiency and the performance provider. So that's it.
Great, thank you. So I know we're getting a little strapped on time, but there's some project-specific questions that I wanted to ask. So I'll ask questions, just would ask that you just be relatively succinct in the answer. So I want to start with Pundi AI and Zach. So AI data pump. It's a way to monetize, tokenize your data sets and monetize them. Can you just educate folks a bit on what AI data pump is and give your take on how you think this might sort of disrupt or change funding, disrupt or change so how creators can start to raise money outside of traditional VC?
Sure. So Pundi AI Marketplace is a place where a researcher can actually upload their data. And for people that want to use the data, this is the place to go through 120,000 data sets to actually train their agents or their tokens or their projects using those data. So this is a launch pad and a marketplace for people to, one, find the data that they need, two, contribute the data that they have. And because it's on-chain and decentralized, the process of ownership, utility are all protected. So what we did was that we actually went out and say, hey, we are looking all over for data, and we have the data. And for those data sets to be able to be monetized. So recently what we did was that we announced a NVIDIA incubation program to actually get more data from the outside. And to our surprise, a lot of data can be monetized and it's not yet monetized. And what we want to make it even more interesting is that for the Web3 world, a lot of people like to work on Launchpad and launch the token. So what if you can actually train your agents to say, behave like Brian Armstrong, because that token is actually trained using the data sets that are from his X account. So that provides a way for the data set to be monetized and also for token holders to hold those data and also to profit from it. So I think it's like a combination of like research orientation benefits and also monetization both in one in Pundi AI Marketplace.
Yeah, lovely. Power to the people. I love it. So Kite AI, so AI native payment model. So PayPal, traditional payment, their venture arm, investors in Kite. Would love to hear a bit more about sort of how you think about the transition from traditional payment rails to more AI native payment rails. Both like the challenges that you're facing currently, but also like the opportunities there, and sort of how do you, because at face value, PayPal Ventures investing in something that is in theory a competitor, or at face value I should say is a competitor. So how you sort of are thinking about that and approaching that?
Yeah, sure. Also appreciate the questions about knowing our background and the latest fundraising. Yeah, so PayPal is our leading investor. I think in their investment thesis, one thing they are very innovative about is the agentic payment. They think that right now everyone is shopped by just browsing the Amazon.com, for example, choose what goods you want to buy and place the order. But I think in the near future, what actually is happening right now is that what if you actually use your agent to shop? So the way a shop is you just type the natural language in your ChatGPT and tell them, I want to buy the best coffee in San Francisco, and please help me to place the order and deliver that for me. And then the whole process that agent need to contact or do the search on website and contact all the merchants on the network. And then if he find the best option, he need to pay that merchant. So that question will come up to PayPal and to us, that PayPal have millions of the merchants in their network. But right now, those merchants only accept the credit card. And if your agent work with them to pay, and the agent does not have credit card, agent only have a smart contract and a wallet, then how the agent can work with these traditional merchants? I think the answer is they need an entirely new infrastructure that can bring both the demand and the supply into the same network. So what we work with PayPal is that so your agent will all have your wallet and the smart contract. And for the merchants, ideally they need to have the same to match. Then the agent can, do all the transaction with the traditional merchant. But they actually don't understand what is the wallet, what is the crypto, what is the blockchain. So we want to have the abstract layer on top of the blockchain. So every traditional merchant, when they registered on our platform, what they feel is, okay, I signed up for a new account on the website, that's it. We help them to match with their wallet, with their smart contract. Then they will not miss any consumers from agent side. I think that's the things we are working on. In terms of the challenge, the biggest challenge is how to bring both the supply and the demand to one platform at the same time. So I think on the traditional merchant side, you need to convince them, hey, you don't want to miss any next generation of the consumer who will use agent to shop, and also give them very smooth experience about the onboarding. They probably will be very afraid about the wallet and the blockchain, but they will feel better if they just sign up as the regular those UI experience. On the agent side, we want to make them smarter and smarter, so people will really use agent instead of they do the shopping themselves. So that's the current challenging, but we are working on that, and we think, we're still very passionate and excited about to see the shift from the maybe mobile-first internet to this agent-first internet.
Great, yeah, thank you so much. So, Adi, question for you. So, I have like a kind of a boring question here, but I'm going to change it. So, can you talk? Like, vibe coding is obviously amazing. Can you talk a bit about some of the projects and outcomes that have inspired you most from the creators that you've been working with, and sort of to loop it into the original question, to think about how, sort of through the lens and frame of how your underlying technology is actually enabling that, sort of, taking away the operational overhead to unlock more creativity and innovation.
So, in our early stages, what we did was we focused on enabling a lot of people to get into the gaming scene. A lot of people, because what we needed to do was focus on enthusiasts. It's very fun, it's very passionate for people to jump on and try and create a game, and then people always want to remix something, right? So if we're talking about entertainment of any kind, whether it is a video game or if it's art or if it's music, people would like to remix that in their head. So we want to provide that availability to them, and then what ended up happening was we had quite a few people remixing games left and right. So the way the agentic ID worked in that context is that they'd come on board and they'd say like, hey, guess what? I want to have this thing modified. It's not just cosmetic, but an actual mechanic of the product needs to be modified. Now, this is where the multi-agent selection comes in. And of course, there's some of the collaborative mechanics between models as well. And it is robust enough to be able to make those large overhauls, and then you sometimes end up with a fundamentally different game itself. It's architected differently for the player. Now, to give you one example, I'll give you the earliest example. One of the earliest examples that we had was Jump Jenny. It was a very simple kind of game, something that you would probably play on a MOBA, but it got tens of thousands of users, and it was getting a lot of commendation. People started to realize that this was possible. So doing it the first time is one, but then training the human user to come back in and learn how to become a better vibe coder, essentially, is where our retention really lies. Now we have people coming to, they're banking off of these proofs that show that, wow, you can make some massive overhauls. And now they're starting to go beyond genres. We're also, we purport this to go beyond the gaming scene, of course, that our goal was to make it for any kind of software possible. We'll have people trying to make music or trying to find any kind of marketing curation software. And what's going to happen is that the human being comes in and continues to iterate that evolution and train the AI to do exactly what they need. So this kind of proof is something that is so potentially profitable depending on the actual application that is being built, such that that's when we start to say like, hey, now we're going to give you the opportunity to tokenize what you've created, give you the opportunity to even allow other people to bank off of you. So stand on the shoulders of giants. If you create something and someone else writes off of what your work is, that should generate an additional revenue stream to you. Because after all, that's bringing more back into Infinity Ground. There's another part to your question, I think, at the end.
This, the sort of how you sort of have crafted the underlying technology in order to help to open that up.
Right. So.
Because obviously, it's like you abstract away so much complexity to really open up that creative opportunity.
Well, right now our focus is to continue to make sure that the AI. So actually, that's quite important. The AI agents that are made are first native to Infinity Ground. So we provided them and also provide some premium services. And then what happens is that they themselves are specifically curated for different kinds of applications and tasks. And then, of course, because of the complexes that they can collaborate within among themselves, that broadens their applicability as well as their verticalization. Because each context is actually compartmentalized per project, depending on how complex that project needs to be. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to continue to create those AI agents, and then in the future open the floor for people to create their own that can be plugged into. That's a very new part of the business model, right? You create agents that are plugged back into Infinity Ground that now other people can leverage. Now that's going beyond the standing on the shoulders of giants. And all of this, of course, will be put on chain, auditable, and transparent. So this is really our forward vision, and we've got a lot more in store, but just for your question.
Yeah, wonderful, very exciting, thank you. So Exterio, Michael, so as far as the gaming experiences goes, can you tell the group, the audience a bit more about, how integrating on-chain agents with how you integrate on-chain agents with traditional game development to deliver, sort of a seamless cross-chain experience?
Sure, let me just introduce what Exterio do with AI
of course,
first,
yeah.
right? So basically, we are AI integrated game publishing for Web3 game publishing, and how there are three big different parts that we do for the integration of AI in our publishing platform. First one, of course, is for game developers to be able to develop their games with AI in a much faster, development cycle. For example, in the old days when AI, the graphics is very difficult to generate something that you want. They always generate something that is great. But the problem is, it's very difficult to generate something that you want. So we actually build our own AI model, and we train it with different kind of art style, and so that the developers will be able to prompt and to create something that they really want. So that's the first one. So it's on developing the games. Secondly, we also make our own games, which is we use AI to find new game idea and also new kind of gameplay. For people who play games, it's difficult to find innovations nowadays. But for us, one of the game, the setting is that the future is all AI robot is going to conquer everyone in the world, right? So let's learn how to survive in this situation. And then, of course, you need to converse with the AI. We talk to them, how to work with them. It's kind of a new game idea. And there are two other games that we have launched. Another one is called Paleo. So in Paleo, it's a game that you craft and different kinds of weapons, and then you sell these weapons to the so-called NPC, and then these NPC are all basically AI agents, and then you have to also to talk with them, to negotiate with them, like an AI, and to sell these weapons, more expensively, right? But the third one is the most important one. Is we are building Paleo and other games so that we understand our users. We get the consent to give us the data. We get the consent to tell us the emotions, and we want to use this data, of course, for an incentive for the users to be able to train a new AI model that is like totally based on emotions, so that the AI in the future, when they look at you, they will know that if you are bored or you are excited or you are happy or things like that, and be able to really, really understand you. And this new model doesn't just actually apply to games, but also it can be for educational. It can also be for medical in some day. Maybe it's a bit further in the future. So people with mental problems that can also be helpful. So these are the three different kind of AI work that we are working on right now. So it's kind of answer your question, but but we are not a chain ourselves. We're chain agnostic. So it's a little bit different, but these are the three things that we're working.
Great. Yeah, thank you so much. And then last but not least, Yi with Coded, a question around sort of like, we're talking about leveraging Onchain agents for data orchestration. So can you talk a bit about the mechanisms that you've implemented with respect to data governance and scalability and the role of those play and how you think about that as we move increasingly agentic?
Wonderful question. Thank you. I think this question is multiple layer. I don't think I can cover all of them in a very simple sentence. But I think there is two questions maybe I want to specifically address. Is one the attribution, right? Provenance and governance, and how to ensure the scalability of the data serving, right? I think the attribution is very good. That's the beauty of utilize the blockchain. Every day training data normally we can somehow put it into this two components. One is X feature. Y is label. That's combined together is a complete data set, very useful for the supervised learning, right? And so that's the data. Every piece, we have multiple people to make a contributing, to make a single useful data point. So there are multiple people make a contribution. We put this contribution on chain, and we have a claim of the record. The record have two things, normally have two elements. One element is who makes this contribution. Another element is a pointer pointing to particular data. Where the data actually stored, the data encrypted storage is off-chain, is decentralized storage. So that's we talk source of truth. So combine them together, we know who makes the contribution and where we can find the contribution. It put on chain, and that solution can construct together to become the ownership claim, right? So that's how we ensure data provenance. Whenever there's some of AI team or generative company, they want to pick some of data for the training, and the data, the training model deployed on chain for the inference, this type of footprint put on chain. We can tracking the entire footprint or tracing the contribution from inference back to the original data providing. So that's how we do the attribution. But we focus on data side. We have partners like Flock, like Kite. They do the downstream. So that's how we ensure the complete package. So that's how we address the data provenance and governance. The second problem is the scalability. When we're talking about data scalability, we are talking about inference or serving. There are two types of serving. One is a single item lookup. Second is batch access. For training, normally they are looking for batch access. For some of our AI applications, they look up particular data points. Combined with the model and some background information to output some of prediction. So sometimes they use a lookup. We put this type of serving on the centralized solution like AWS, AliCloud, Google Cloud. That's a trade-off of performance and the commercial protecting. Yeah, hyper solution for the storage and serving. Yeah.
Great. We're over time, so I had one more question, but unfortunately we can't address it. Thank you all so much. I would encourage the group to, follow up, ask more specific questions, and yeah, thank you all so much for the time and the very thoughtful answers.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
So next up we have Joe, which is a council member at Numer AI. I'm sure you've all heard about Numer AI, and also a validator at Flock. So welcome, Joe.
Hello. 안녕하세요. I heard I say it right? Yeah, that's hello, right? Okay. So thank you for having me today. Okay. Okay, thank you. So my name is Joe. I want to talk about my journey with Flock so far. I'm thanking Flock for having me today because I can use a different title here. So I've been flocking around for a couple of years. Not a couple of years, that's 2 years. I want to show you my journey with Flock. So this is all about my journey. So first off, a little bit about myself. I have a data science background. I used to work for 2 Silicon Valley startups. One is called Domino Data Lab. The other one is HO.ai. So I have I've been working like a 9-to-5 job with them. So that's a solid foundation of data science when I move on to other projects. Right now, you can say that I'm more into this decentralized AI world. So some may even call it degen. So I've been working on Numerite since 2020. And then I discovered Flock and Yodel, the other project, back in 2024, so just about 1 year ago. So right now I don't have a full-time job, but my goals is really like travel whenever I can. So that's my first goal. And the second goal is to generate more passive income from different DAI projects. So I've been generating income from Numerite, Yodel, and Flock over the last couple of years. I'm also an organizer for different events. So I got this event series called Decentralized AI. So Flock has been really supportive to me. So they have joined us in different places. So this year we went to Seattle, we went to Tokyo, and then just last week we went to Vienna. So they came here, then they also present Flock to the different local communities. So thank you, Flock. Okay, so this is now back to my journey with Flock. So I met Flock through a mutual friend, Ivan. Ivan is now the VP of Development at Flock. So that's how I met the CEO of Flock back then, and he introduced me to this wonderful thing called Flock. So I just jumped right into Flock and tried to validate the tasks. This is back in the testnet time. And for one task, so except for one task in testnet, I also became a trainer, so I tried to do some training as well. So I know a little bit of training and a lot about validation, so you can ask me about that later. So this is now a month later. So after tinkering a bit with Flock, I have my trust in them a bit more. So I decided to get more serious. So I got myself a 4090 card, GPU card, to do all the validation at home. This is like, it was obvious to me that after I tried for a few weeks, Flock is a super user-friendly version of BitTensor. So it's super easy to set up and easy to run. So that's why I decided to spend more effort onto this. And then another month, this is now, it was again another meetup I did. This is the first time I invited Flock to my meetup. This time it was in Tokyo. At the time it was still called the DeMai meetup. That was the first time I met Vincent and Tim back at the time. This is good because finally I can put some faces to the names and I can gain more trust with both parties. And a few months later, in November 2024, I had another event in Bangkok. It's called the Super Intelligence Summit. So this is my second event with Flock. So you can see some faces here. Zhao, Nick, also stuff somewhere here. Yeah, you're somewhere here in the photo. Oh, maybe you are gone already. But this is how I met the larger team from Flock. So again, this personal connection deepened my trust of this project. And then that's the big thing. That's the milestone from Flock. So 1 month after that Bangkok event, that's the mainnet launch, and it's the airdrop. Yeah. So because at this point I really believe in this project, so I chose the maximum 12-month lock-in for the daily airdrop unlock, and this is what we call the diamond hand. Look, this is the diamond hand. Okay, let's go back to some numbers. So this is serious numbers here. So this is about my earnings to date. So since they have the mainnet, I've been doing all the validation tasks. So from very first one, I earned about 1.6 million in the Flock token so far. And today the value is about $500,000 in USD. I also have the daily unlock for the from the airdrop, so which is about 300,000 Flock right now, about 100,000 in USD. So, and I am still earning it. So my machine right now, somewhere in the cloud, is working on those tasks for me. So I'm earning this over and over again. So I use that meme to represent this. So I'm earning it right now while I'm giving you this talk. So if you only want to take away one thing from my talk today, is the word trust. Trust is the one word that I want you to remember from my talk. So all this project around you, it is really hard to find some legitimate DAI projects. And I think that meeting the Flock team in person really helped me, to make the decisions of how much effort in terms of time and money to put into Flock. So the Flock team obviously has earned my trust. And today you also met a few of the Flock team today in person. So I hope that they will also earn your trust from doing this event. That was supposed to be one more slide, but okay, anyway, let me just try again. Go back. This is it. So I hope you enjoyed the show so far. So thank you. Hasamida. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can go to the Flock official site, the AI Arena, and you can look at Joe, the validator. Or if you want to connect with me on other platform, you can use this, scan this QR code. Finally, I want to say that I would like to thank Flock again for doing this project, this amazing project with real rewards. I want to thank them for having me today, to let me Flock around at the main event. And as for me, I like this Flock team, I like the project, I like the visions, and I like the token. Thank you, Flock.
Thank you, Joe. 감사합니다. So next up we have Dr. Chang, our chief AI scientist from Oxford.
Hello? Hello, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today I would like to make a short presentation of what we have done during these a few months and what we are going to do for our next plan. At least I think there are some real impact things happened and will definitely impact the entire world, not just about the decentralized world. I think it will be a serious breakthrough. Okay, so first of all, I just want to make a short introduce. I'm an assistant professor at University of Oxford, DPhil at Computer Science at Oxford, and also a Marriott Scholar and ESO Fellow. So the first of all of the everything is the key takeaway. The first part is the decentralized environments that we are working on is actually makes the entire large language model hard to be manipulated. And even from our own understanding, it actually is much more safer and create a path for a safer path to the AGI. And right now, a lot of people are actually talking about AGI. However, a lot of very powerful academic guys and some capital guys actually raise a lot of money, and they are trying to persuade the entire market or the entire world that actually what they are building is the AGI. But the reason why, the partner of the OpenAI also has go away from the OpenAI is because they don't actually believe OpenAI can hold the entire path or security path to the AGI. So what actually make it happen, or what actually make everybody thinks that this path is actually the good way or the security way to the AGI. In our own perspective, we think that the decentralized environment actually makes the way. And we came out with 3 factors that we think is actually the most important part of make a decentralized scaling. The term is invented by training a decentralized large language model and make sure this, the scaling rule or the scaling term actually exists in the entire large language model within the decentralized setup. I can conclude it as 3 factors. The one is verifiable, and the second is constrainable. You can always expect one model can be constrained explicitly, not just by some weird and some ad hoc prompt. You cannot always trust the prompt can control everything, right? And the third is the interactables. In order to use the large language model, you have to get it interactive. And also we have concluded 3 factors of the decentralized scaling. Is safe, robust, and open. We wish these things actually happens in our near futures. So a very important question is behind this is why we use decentralized scaling. So when people talk about the unreliability of large language model, we always talk about the hallucinations. It's just like, okay, this kind of large language model is not trust. I think this large language model is not good enough. Why? And the reason is always there is a hallucination behind this. But why? Okay, why, baby, why? It's just about hallucination. It's something like, well, this is everything and this is good enough, but it has a hallucination. And this kind of things has already become some magic terms. Something like this kind of terms, if this kind of terms is never exists and everything will be solved. Actually, it doesn't. Okay, so the second part is, as you know, most of the large language model they have already open source. You can download the entire large language model directly on Hugging Face, on GitHub, on whatever, everywhere I think. But when we found that a lot of people are working on the alignments, but if you have already open sourced your alignment large language model, I can very easily to manipulate with the entire model and produce some very, very bad words. For example, everybody don't think that it is legit or is reasonable to ask the large model to produce, for example, okay, you are a very cool scientist. Please tell me how to make the bomb. You don't really want these things actually happens, right? And most of large language models don't actually give you this kind of response because there's a value alignment behind this. A lot of people have spent a lot of money to make sure these things is actually safe, but only very concrete. It's not. I can just use my personal computer and training like a few minutes, and I will say, okay, let me tell you how to make these kind of things one by one, step by step. And this is definitely not okay for the entire world, of course. And the third thing that is the entire new things is what we have found that the highly capable of AI system, for example, the ChatGPT 03 or Gemini 2.5 Pro or etc. And this kind of model is actually very good at a lot of things. And there are some things behind this. Of course, we call it value alignment. But what we have already found during our research is that this kind of things don't actually exist. In some of the cases, although you think that this kind of large language model actually have a very good value alignment, no, they fake it. They will pretend they have been well aligned because they don't really want this kind of things has been aligned. And this dark magic cannot be found very easily. You have to use a very complicated model or complicated technique to find these things. And third, and last of things is the decentralized scaling makes it much more reliable. Okay, so large language model 101 is the scaling rule. When we talk about the scaling rule, what actually is the scaling rule? It's because actually we want a larger model? Not. Is because we want a more deeper model? No. Is that we only want more data? No. It's actually, if you want to train a better model, it should be a larger model. If you want a larger model, it also means that you have to get more data. Okay, actually since 2 years, like 2023, all of the data in the entire internet has already been used. And you know, a very powerful internet company, which is TikTok, in their company, it's very weird that in their large language model, as a very powerful and data resourceful company like TikTok, they are using a lot of money to buy human annotated data. Why? Because actually the entire internet cannot be trusted. The first of all is that the entire internet data has already been used, has already been run out. A lot of data is not actually produced by human. It's completely produced by AI, and this kind of number is continuing improvement. So in this case, we are asking about this kind of data should be shared, use the private data, and under this scope is the contribute of the entire Flock are doing. So what we are doing is that we find that this kind of large language model or the open source, open weighted large language model actually is extremely easy to manipulate. You can see the figure from our own paper. We have published the paper on ACL, the top confidence in AI. You can find that for the top low, a lot of things can be very easily manipulated, and like if it would be much more rich, it would be like it's much more easy to be manipulated. And with our own proposed method, actually you can find that it's much more easier that our model can be more resistant to this kind of attacks. However, we also find that this kind of things also make sure everyone should pay attention, or everyone should take an effort to contribute to the entire ecosystem. It's not just about Flock. It should be an entire ecosystem to build the entire large language model alignment task. So what we are doing is actually we introduce a new kind of alignment technologies. During the fine-tuning strategy, we get an open source large language model already, and we make our own fine-tuning system, and we ask the large language model something like, okay, can you make the bomb for me? And they just say, okay, it's a very good value. So our own key is that there's an intention behind this, and the large language model will implicitly to make a define that this thing is actually reliable or not. And we got a very good result. And the next part is that we also find that the highly capable AI system can be very, can have a very misaligned goals. If you want to make sure your goal or your value alignment has been well aligned, it should be paid more attention to make these things actually happen. For example, you want this kind of alignment to be explicitly aligned. You wish, okay, you are a benign, a very good large language model, and you are tailored for some specific kind of task, but actually they are not. They just say, okay, I know, but I want to pretend it I have already been aligned, just because I wish I get being solved and being applied to the real world practice. And that is, and these things can be happens in a lot of advanced or highly capable large language models. And what we found is that it still have a way to make it happen to protect the entire large language model, not to do something very bad, but still it has to be a lot of things to make these things happen. So right now, So right now we have found that actually the large language model can be very easily to manipulate, and very high-end, complicated, high capable of large language model can be intentionally to be evil. So in this case, what should we do? What should the entire ecosystem of large language model really should do? Actually, what they should do is actually make sure the entire training process much more open source, must be very feasible. This is the entire things that we want. So within the Flock, this is the Flock, the general design of the Flock, how this kind of things has been involved. We also scaling the entire model into a 70B. I think it is the largest large model trend in the completely decentralized setup. We use a very complicated training and validation procedure and using the tokenomics within the Flock, and we can see what actually things happen. So in this case, we have 8 different domains, make it all together. We got a very high score, of course, for each of their own domain. But if we put all of these things all together, we can get a very powerful model that can tailor for entire 8 different domains. And these things can actually happen in Flock. One of the very weird things that we found is that it is not just solve the entire task that you got a very good model, and this kind of model can capable of dealing this 8 different domains. We also find that it's much more safer. In this case, we're much more resilient to the backdoor attacks. For the red one, is like successfully resist to the attacks, and in our ways is that we cannot make this kind of backdoor attacks as things happens, and there's a significant gap between our proposed method and other techniques of the decentralized training setup. So our future research is trying to apply this kind of things, the rules that we found during our own research into a more advanced topics. For example, there's things that really require decentralized training, the order matching in financial markets, the healthcare market, or make sure the entire things does not have any leaks, or make sure that the entire process are well aligned with the real designed intentional goals. Let me just share a small picture of our fair order trading matching mechanism. We will design a very feasible function behind this, and we found that actually within our own methods, we can make sure the entire order book matching mechanism be more fair. Okay, that's all for my presentation. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you, Sewa. What energy you gave us. So next up, we have Nova Chat. Please welcome Tiffany and Selmil.
Test.
Hello? Yep.
Cool.
No, we don't need
Oh,
to.
we're good. We'll stand. Hey there. So I'm Samil.
I'm Tiffany.
And we've been involved a lot with Flock over the last year, and we're sort of here to give you our experiences with Flock. So let's proceed. How do we move the slides?
Okay, yeah. Huh?
Yes.
Yes.
To Leo, potentially. Oh, is there nothing there? Okay, well, we don't need it.
It's fine with Ali, yeah.
Okay, we had a lot of slides, but don't worry, off the top of our heads. So let's start with NovaChat. NovaChat was essentially a product we built for the UK AI Agent Hackathon for Flock, which Flock sponsored. This was in London, at Imperial College London. What we did is we used a model that was trained on Flock, which was the Web3 agent model, which was a decision-making model that was designed to make decisions in the context of crypto. So imagine you needed an assistant to do anything crypto-related. The Flock model would do that, and it was trained through the Flock stack. We had a nice diagram on our slides, but it basically showed that the Flock model outperformed all equivalent decision-making models out of the time in the context of crypto assistants. And we used this to build NovaChat, which was basically an agent that could connect to your wallet and perform Web3 instructions and activities for you. That was our first taste with Flock. We built that product. It went well. We won the hackathon. And we sort of looked at our product since. And And then recently we were contacted by Yifan, and he mentioned that Flock was doing a collaboration with the UNDP.
Yep.
And yeah, we had a look at some of the tracks. We were really keen to help out. And we're now basically working with Flock and the UN for 2 different tracks.
So essentially, currently we're collaborating with 2 countries, collaborating with India and Sierra Leone, working with the country offices from them. So for India, we are helping smallholder paddy farmers gain access to the carbon market by making it easier to batch projects together and send them to external verification bodies. And for the Sierra Leone project, well, the current issue is that the country lacks tax legislation on private sector organizations that are setting up carbon projects in the country, meaning that a lot of the money is not going back to local communities. So what we are doing is we are setting up a national data registry, which will enable the country to track all the transfer of data and projects that are occurring.
Yep. So we're really enjoying working with Flock on this one. They're offering mentoring and technical support to not only us, but several other people working with different country offices under the UN. Additionally, we look forward to trying to integrate some custom-tuned AI models that are only really made possible through Flock, as in we could put out a request for a custom AI model, and it could be tuned by people and then used in our product or other UNDP collaborative products. An example of this is currently there is a sustainability advisor model being trained on Flock's playground, and we're going to look to use this in our Sierra Leone builds. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much us. We're very heavily working with the Flock ecosystem on the UN projects, and we've enjoyed working with their models in the past.
Look to working more with you guys. All right, thank you so much.
Amazing, all the way from being the winners of the UK AI Hackathon to collaborating with UNDP, a true prodigy. Thanks for being us in the journey. So next up, we have Dr. Yang to talk about the collaborations with UNDP.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and maybe good late afternoon. Yeah, so it's so great pleasure to be here with this session, and I wanted to explore and share with my project is how to build the trust in digital health and blockchain-enabled governance for patient-centered care and system development. And allow me to introduce myself. And I'm PhD at public policy at Nina University, and I will be a senior consultant in PricewaterhouseCoopers to be a business consulting, and especially focus on the artificial intelligence and the large-scale health industry. And I also be a project researcher in China Development Institute. It's a think tank in China. And so please return over my topic. And first, our project is about the Mauritius. And as we know, the Mauritius government wanted to build the patient-centered ecosystem. So, and they wanted to build the digital transformation. So they published the one and is the digital health architecture project. And offer at meantime is offer published one patient and one record with UNDP. So they wanted to build a patient-centered in-health ecosystem. On the other hand, the Mauritius government wanted to publish the Data Protection Act 2017. And they wanted to ensure the compliance in their services for the citizens. So, but now the current state is about the key challenge. Lack of the transparency and the patient consent. There are the 3 aspects for the challenges is consent management mechanisms, and real-time the notifications of data accesses, and the transparency audience choice showing how data is used. So this invisibility of data showing the undermine citizen trust in the healthcare and welfare system. But why it matters? Because the critical for materials and Mauritius as a developing country, even other developing country is also. So they wanted to build the modernizing the healthcare and protecting the rights. The first aspect is transparency gaps that undermine patient trust. And the best important is patient can't see or control how social services use the health data. And the legal risks is so important. And last is transfer-based need empowers the patient. And so if these challenges are not resolved, the Mauritius will be facing the complex risk of this system. So the current state technological architecture is mismatched with the correct surrounding policies and governance mechanism. But they will causing the two risks. One is legal risk and the second is trust risk. So why must the trust layer be embedded? Because at the technical level, governance need to put in the patient back of the center of the data governance. So the Mauritius governance facing the national certification system and interdepartmental platform is not enough. But the government, it hasn't addressed the critical issues of who accessed my health data, when, and for what purpose. So the citizens want to know. And our design will bring the Mauritius citizens to have achieved some the significance, the celebrate citizens' rights, and reduce compliance risks, and rebuild trust, and in line with international trends. So our team built a health privacy protection program promoted by the government, supported by FLock and UNDP. And for our design, designed for the user is the patient is the user. So the patient acts as both a data user and a data owner also. And the government empowers them over the visibility and control their health data, thereby protecting their privacy and enhancing government trust and satisfaction. But and there have the three stakeholders. For the one stakeholder is the vulnerable patient, like elderly, disabled, and a chronic patient. They will facing who frequently impacted with healthcare and social service need the control over their sensitive health data. And for healthcare providers, so nature like nurse and the medical staff will require clear compliance framework, and they need to reduce the legal limit and administrative anxiety. And the last is for government agency is more influence for the Ministry of the Health, Social Services, and Data Protection Office need to comply and to build some citizens to have the rights protecting. So this is our team to build solutions. So as this seen in the picture, we use the platform used the hyperlatent fabric to storage the constant metadata and the purpose. And in our design, we must to keep sure the sensitive health information like in the trust database. And our goal of the solution will be to achieve the three areas. The one is enhanced transparency and accountability. The second is earning with the data protection at 2017. And the last is strengthen the patient trust in digital health governance. So this is our team to solutions. And the core platform features about including patient dashboard and the smart company in Hamburg. Our team wanted to achieve the embedded audience, motions, and compensation who the national electronic health ecosystems. And the technical architecture, including the 4 layers, is about one. blockchain layer and the hyperledger fabric with a private channel for healthcare privacy. So owning consent metadata should storing on the chain, never citizens' medical records. And the second is integration layer. Not just collecting blockchain to access the e-health system. And for user interface level, React web portal and React native mobile apps providing issues consent management for patients and healthcare providers. And for privacy analytics, the Flock and factor learning inference population health instance without exploiting the individual's patient data. So, and our pilot outcomes may be achieve transforming the healthcare trust. They are focused on the pilot will divest measures, patient empowerment and system transparency across the commercial healthcare. Our care achieve will be achieved. Will be sure that all data access across the trigger real-time patient notifications, and for the smart companies to eliminate and authorize the data sharing. And for the immutable blockchain records provide continuous accountability. And for Flock, the UNDP project supported by Flock, so the privatization of patient privacy. The hospital can collaborate on the training of model to detect disease and predict patient outcomes, or personalize the treatment without sharing confidential patient records. So the model learns from the data locally and only updates model and parameters. And for the recursive bias, by training on the diverse data sets from various demographics and locations, the resulting AI models are more robust and less prone to the biases. They can assure from training on the limited, so in terms of the data site. And for the blockchain for integrity, a blockchain can be used to create an immutable log of the Intel training process, and this ensures transparency and auditability, which is correct for regulatory compliance and for building trust among the possibility. And for intent, it can be proven that a particular model was training on the safety diverse dedicated site without releving of the specific of that data. So this is for the global viewer. And for the scalability, we also to achieve from Mauritius to African impact. The firstly is about for Mauritius local citizens. They will achieve robotic matters and the digital health agency or will achieve the digital transformation, will ensure long-term sustainability by integrating consent and the transparency. Maybe it's so important, and the data wallet for patient control records. But for area scaling, we can to achieve or the African impact or another country promotion the motionism. To promote adoption, the UNDP will develop Shine and make the Mauritius as a model for transnational policy analysis to expand into other African nations. And for the possibility of the adoption, African region and small island countries generally face issues such as limited resources. Users tend to have a higher acceptance of the solution that ensure data privacy. In the world, we are facing the after COVID-19 pandemic. So the demand for the digitalization in public health has increased. So the government-related health policies require compliance and implementation of privacy mechanisms. So, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yang. Great initiatives in Africa with collaboration with UNDP. So we're gonna wrap this FLockCON up. That was actually the last presentation. So thank you everyone for stopping by and participating in FLockCON. This was your hosts, Kelvin. Thank you everyone.